98.5. We're already on YouTube. I see I'm buying in there and standing there. What's up, guys? Load them up, baby. Load them up. We're here all night. We'll be doing a Red Sox watch-along like we did last night. Same situation. We'll keep you posted on what's going on in the game. We're going to be joined by Matt McCarthy for Postgame of Red Sox. We got Dan Lifshatz in studio today in about a half hour. We'll get his Red Sox thoughts and do some football stuff as well. And TNA Wrestling will be in Lowell in less than 10 days, or about 10 days. And we will have some more TNA guests in studio tonight. So, again, the phone number 617-779-0985. The opening take presented by Super Service Today. Day or night, always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. Well, Red Sox and Yankees are tied right now in Game 2. But baseball's back. Red Sox and Yankees in the playoffs, it's good for the game. Baseball has tried many things to improve the product, and quite honestly, plenty have worked. Pitch clock, you name it. And they'll bring in the ABS next year. And I think everybody's in, whether it's the players, owners, agents, you name it, they're all in on making the game better. But Red Sox and Yankees last night made me love the game of baseball again. Maybe there was analytics, maybe there wasn't, but for me, all I needed was Red Sox versus Yankees. It was all I needed last night. And the moment that I truly remember from last night's game was Chapman versus Judge in the bottom of the ninth at New Yankee Stadium, with Chapman as a member of the Red Sox, the potential MVP of the league, one of the home run champions, who plays for the Yankees against a former Yankee now with the Red Sox who's having an all-star year. The importance of both players to its franchise. Judge keeping the Yankees alive in the ninth. The idea of the Red Sox meltdown was there for me. It was there. And then we watched something that has never been done in Major League Baseball playoff history. A team loading the bases with no outs, and the Red Sox once again prevailing over the New York Yankees. It was historical. We're still talking about it. We're still trying to get over it, but they got to play ball again today. Yes, it was just one game, but the Red Sox once again have the Yankees against the ropes in an elimination game. And I'm sure people know this by now, but the Red Sox have not lost a playoff series against the Yankees since 2003 when Aaron Boone homered in extra innings of Game 7. So there's a lot on the line. For the Yankees, they've done nothing but lose to the Red Sox. If you want to look at the last 25 years, the Red Sox have won 4 World Series. The Yankees have won 1. The fact Aaron Boone's still sticking around, he doesn't win tonight, I'm sure he's done. But it made me love baseball again. I didn't need your analytics. I didn't need rule changes. Didn't need any of that. All I needed was Red Sox versus Yankees. Yankees Stadium. That's all I needed. And I was back. And I loved baseball again. After the game, I was riding a high last night. I was thinking about Crochet and pitching 11 innings. Having 11 strikeouts and 7 2/3 innings. Matching. Check this out, people. Garrett Crochet matched Pedro and Josh Beckett. Guys who've won World Series here with 11 strikeouts in a playoff game. After the game, Aaron Judge says he's the best player in Major League Baseball, the best pitcher. There were a lot of things to question in last night's game. I questioned why Sogard played, but Cora pushed all the right buttons. Sogard got the hit. He also got the extra base to score the go-ahead run. Trevor Story's stolen base in the 9th inning was key to Alex Bregman's insurance RBI and was the true difference in the game. I've been hard on Alex Bregman, but that's why they got him last night. The insurance run was huge. They needed it. Going to Chapman in the 8th worked, despite what actually happened. He threw 24 pitches. He loaded the bases with no outs in the 9th inning. But he got out of it. The Yankees are the first team in Major League Baseball postseason history to have the bases loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the 9th, but not score a run and lose the game. That's the history. The stars of the game last night, no doubt about it, Garrett Crochet, Alex Bregman, and Aroldis Chapman. The other guys all filled their roles, but Craig Breslow deserves credit for bringing in free agents. He made the trade that let Alex Cora manage the way he wanted to. The Red Sox have yet to lose a playoff series against the Yankees. They have a chance to knock out the guy that won that game in that series years ago in Aaron Boone. I know that that's just a little silly thing in there, but you all feel it, and you all know it. You know who that manager is over there. You know what he's done to the organization. You know that that was devastating. But you also know the manager of the Red Sox is better than that guy. And the manager of the Red Sox stuck with his starter last night, and it worked. And Aaron Boone did things last night that Cora wouldn't have done. Cora pushed the right buttons. It's like he knows the team. He knows what not to give up. And I just go back to that Devers trade. Once it happened, Breslow said, I think we'll be better. And then Alex Cora was able to manage the way he wanted to. You know, going with righties last night with some of your best lefties on the bench like Masataka Yoshida. Right? You just think of some of these guys. Nathaniel Lowe's been very good. But he knew what to do. We know whoever wins this. We all know whoever wins game one of a series in the wild card round is 12-0. The Red Sox look for number 13 tonight. I also wanted to mention this one. The Red Sox have won their last 8 potential series clinching postseason games. Tonight would be one of those. They've won their last 8 potential series clinching postseason games. It is the second longest such winning streak in Major League history, behind the 9-game win streak by the A's from 1973 to 1990. I thought that was an insane stat. But looking at it here, Red Sox now 2-2 with the Yankees. A home run given up by Brian Bayo. Rendon has given up 2 runs as well. The Red Sox are to their bullpen while the Yankees are still sticking with their starter. It's an even game for the Red Sox. They do have tomorrow. I think they're managing it like they want to end it tonight. They've already gone lefty-lefty. They have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. We'll see what happens. And I don't know what would happen in a game 3. I don't know if I even want to think about it just yet. But the Yankees made some moves. Jazz Chisholm, after the game, wasn't happy. He's in the lineup tonight. Rice, in the lineup tonight, hits the 2-run homer. I blame Bayo for that one for pitch location. The Red Sox went with the same lineup. They're back at it tonight. It's a tie game. Let me just give you the update on what inning we're in at the moment, because I know there's a lot happening while I'm live on the air. Bottom of the 4th inning right now. Justin Wilson is in the game. We'll give you the line from Brian Bayo coming up in a little bit, and certainly your calls at 617-779-0985. Just wanted to reiterate, it was good last night. It was good. It made me love baseball again. It brought me back tonight to the game. I can't wait to just do this all night long once again. Talk a little football in between, maybe a little wrestling, and do postgame with Matt McCarthy. Maybe we're talking about the Red Sox going to the next round. All I can tell you is all I need is Red Sox Yankees, and I'm in on that. Again, we're on YouTube, friends. Come and join us there. I already see a bunch of people in there. We had a monster night last night. I think we had 900 people at one point watching us on YouTube post-game, so feel free to jump in there. I'll read your chats. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray.
Joe Murray. And we'll just kick in a little 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, bum. Red Sox and Yankees in action right now. We'll keep you posted if anything should change. But right now, 2-2. Red Sox and Yankees, top of the fifth inning. I'll just kind of tell you what happened right away. So I mentioned that DraftKings is offering these no runs in the first inning, or will there be a run in the first inning? So tonight it was juiced up to minus 140 for there to be one run. Didn't like it tonight. I actually thought that there'd be more hitting, and there is already. There's 4 runs in the first 5 innings. So I took over Rendon, 1.5 runs, hit, boom, done. Bayo got bailed out, though. And this has nothing to do with my bet, although people will think it does. Bayo wasn't good tonight. He was bad. He wasn't good. 5 of the first 11 batters reached base tonight. So I just, not good. He needs to be better than that, and I thought his low pitching location was awful. Bayo faced 11 batters, 6 first pitch strikes. So 6 first pitch strikes of 11 batters. It's about 54.5%. Did you know no qualified starter was south of 55% this season? He was. Crochet last night was 22 of 26 first pitch strikes. He was ass tonight. I don't know how else to say it. He sucked. They needed more from Brian Bayo. They needed more. It wasn't good enough. And these were some of the reasons why I thought maybe he would struggle tonight. Career numbers at Yankee Stadium has been great. 5 starts, 3-1, 1.44 ERA. He's pitched 31 innings, 22 hits, 5 earned, all that. Now, by month, though, this is the one that stood out to me. Bayo struggles. His ERA by month, 3.27 in April, 4.03 in May, 2.87 in June, 2.79 in July. So June and July, he was electric. In August, he was awesome, 2.27. The month of September, though, his ERA spiked to 5.40. That's dramatic. Bayo allowed 16 runs in 25 innings with 16 strikeouts and 12 walks over 5 starts this year. So I thought the over 2.5 would be good, but they already took him out of the game, so I lost. Brian Bayo, he went under that line of 2 in 2 out of 3 games this year versus the Yankees. Now it would be 3 out of 4. He had a 1.44 ERA at Yankee Stadium in 5 starts. His road splits, though, for the most part, 3.06 ERA. He's been good. The Yankees were hitting .231 against Bayo going into this one. Aaron Judge was batting .095. So the last 3 starts, earned runs for Bayo, 0, 0, 4 in his final one. Tonight, 2. So in reality, Brian Bayo this year versus the Yankees had 4 starts against the Yankees and gave up 6 runs altogether. That's very good. So they needed more out of him tonight. He let them down. Now they're into their bullpen. I wonder if the Red Sox thought of this. Will they go after Justin Wilson? Will they go to now right-handed pitching? I think I saw somebody warming in the bullpen. Those are righty, but you still have Matz in there. It'll be interesting to see how this thing plays out. But as far as Carlos Rendon goes, in 12 career appearances against the Red Sox, he's 5-6 with a full 4.28, 75 strikeouts in 12 games. His 3 starts versus the Red Sox this year, 15 innings pitched, 11 hits, 11 runs, 12 strikeouts. His ERA against the Red Sox this year was 5.74. But you have to think about this. Do they want to go to their bullpen? And this is why I didn't like the fact that maybe Cora went to the bullpen early, but at the same time, I think he knows Bayo doesn't have it. But Rendon, ERA by month, 3.68, 1.47, 3.71, 4.24. He's gotten better. August, 3.15, and then September, 2.61. So his over-under tonight was 1.5. It already hit 2, so boom. If the Yankees win tonight, it could be really confusing on when Game 3 would be. It's supposed to be scheduled for 6:08, but it could be 7:38. If there was 3 games and then the Cincy and Dodgers, it could be 8 o'clock. If there's only 2 games, it could be 3. It could be 7:30. If the Cincy, there's a lot going on here. I don't know what to tell you about Game 3, and that's why I just hope it doesn't get there. But I did think the bats would get going tonight. After yesterday, the Yankees are in desperation mode. If I'm Boone, you got to stick with Rendon for a bit. It's when the Yankees go to their bullpen that the Red Sox can start pulling levers and Alex Cora can start pushing buttons. Having Yoshida off the bench or Lowe or Abreu, it's a weapon for the Red Sox. And I think the Yankees know it. I think the Yankees know. If the Sox hang around early on like they are, get Rendon out of the game, they go to their bullpen, advantage Red Sox. And this is where they're sneaky. But this is also where home field becomes just I don't want to say a problem for the Red Sox, but short fly balls. And we saw one last night from Crochet, but it's just there is some sort of advantage for that team, the Yankees, early on, or even late in games for that matter, to pop one over the wall. So here we are right now, 2-2 Red Sox. I'll just tell you some of the parts of the game so far. Trevor Story had the big hit for the two RBI hit, 2 RBI. He did strike out in the previous at bat. Ref Snyder starting tonight. He has 2 strikeouts already. Bregman hit into a double play. Narvaez struck out. Eaton struck out, but also had a hit tonight. Jarren Duran had a hit tonight, and there was questions about him potentially being back in the lineup tonight. And Ceddanne Rafaela worked another walk after last night's walk, which, when you look at the numbers, it was highly unlikely to happen. And again, Nick Sogard is at second base. The pitchers tonight, Brian Bayo, 2 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned, 1 walk, gave up the 1 home run. Brian Bayo threw 28 pitches tonight. That is just completely unacceptable. I know you have your contract extension. There's not much to work on. Like, he could have had a big night. It's not going to change his contract. What happened there? 28 pitches, Bayo? It really could have been something, because what's after Brian Bayo? This is what I mean by the Red Sox. I think they have just as good a chance as anybody. I've been saying it all year long. All year. But when Bayo gives you 2 1/3 and 28 pitches, now you have to rely on the bullpen. And tomorrow night, if there is a tomorrow night, by the way, you go Connolly early. Now you're going to a bullpen that's been used. Because I mean, I don't know if that kid's going past 2 innings. Like, the Brian Bayo performance tonight is what you thought you'd get out of a Connolly early. Not Brian Bayo, the guy that was ascending this year. Not the guy that has owned the New York Yankees. Not that guy. But that's who he was. And it's another reason why, I'll bring up one more time, Craig Breslow will get all the flowers for Crochet's trade and Aroldis Chapman signing and Alex Bregman signing. He deserves all the credit. But he also probably deserves a little bit of criticism for not getting another starter that isn't Dustin May. So Brian Bayo tonight, his 2 1/3, 4 hits, 28 pitches, and a home run. Like, to me, that's something you could have got from Peyton Tolley. I said it right tonight, Skaz. Peyton Tolley's going to give you 2 1/3 with 28 pitches. Or Connolly early. That's what they do, not Brian Bayo. But I gave you the numbers. Bayo has really slid in the month of September. ERA dipped from, at one point, his ERA dipped from 3 points. So he's at 4.24. Sorry, that was Rendon. In June, July, August, Bayo went 2.87, 2.79, 2.27. In September, he jumped to 5.40. Was he overused? Did he go over his innings? Looks like they might have done that with Lucas Giolito, too. And now he isn't available for the wild card round. It sounds like he's out for the entire playoffs. So, a big situation right now. I'll tell you what the score is in headlines, but Aaron Judge is at the plate with a runner on first. And the Sox have gone back to their bullpen. They went to Justin Slayton. So they have gone back to him. Someone has sent me a correction. Yeah, you ever get an email that says correction? Let's find out what I screwed up tonight. Rodon, not Rendon. Lifshatz is here. I'll get your opinion, but how do you feel about Rendon versus Rodon?
It's actually Rodon.
Oh, well, thank you.
Is really how you're supposed to do it.
Rodon,
yeah, Carlos Rodon. But it doesn't matter. Who cares? I mean, everyone knows who you're talking about. Who cares?
Yeah, I think I say it as like Boston dialect, like Rendon.
I just think people.
Rondon.
People just
Rondon.
People just want to like correct everyone about crap these days. So,
Rondon. Man, that really bothered somebody, huh? Oh God. Well, Lifshatz, last night we were using your Zen last night. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yes.
See? How come other people on the internet don't know, but we know? Scaz was bringing it up all night long.
Yeah.
I was Do you know what I was doing? I was using it on Alex Bregman last night. I was like, this guy sucks. Dude, $40 million, you can't do nothing.
People really, really still don't get the bit, but it's all right. It's all right.
Well, we're here.
As I said, don't turn the game off. Don't watch tonight. Useless.
Yeah. Rondon. Rendon. You know, Rendon sounds good. You know why? Because it just rolls off the tongue.
I think people are just upset because they actually think that you're like watching Anthony Rendon pitch instead of Carlos Rodon.
Rendon. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most frustrating thing for them.
But you know what though? We have people who say interview versus interview. You know that?
Yeah, I don't care.
Innings versus innings.
That one might actually bother me, but I certainly wouldn't be emailing into a radio station.
Rodon. All right. Well, ooh.
Duran. Oh, my gosh.
Well, we'll have live reaction all night long. So you pissed me off, Dan, because I had over 2.5 earned runs.
You got to be
for Brian Bayo. And
Duran is such a bad fielder. Good grief.
Now, here's what people will tell you tonight. He had a hit in the first inning, but he was useless. He's useless. I mean this as a compliment. He's Trot Nixon. He can't hit lefties. He batted .218 versus lefties.
He didn't even need to do that. Just catch.
Why did he even slide?
Catch the ball. Oh, gosh. Just catch the ball.
Catch the ball.
Dude, just cost them a run.
Rodon.
Judge, shut the bleep up. You didn't do anything. You flew out. They thanked the guy in left field.
The guy who gave me the correction said, I love your show. I'm not upset. It's okay. Well, let's go to the headline here. We'll give Dan a big intro welcome.
I don't need that.
And then I will tell you what the score of the game is right now here in Sports Up Headlines. 98.5 The Sports Hub. We're having a watch along here on the sport. That's what we've been doing. Dan Lifshatz is here, everybody. Dan Lifshatz is
Jaron Duran can get bleeped.
Well, he's never been a good outfielder. Remember when he was the All-Star Game MVP? That was just last year.
Oh! Get out! Yeah! There we go, baby!
Oh!
Love that.
Aaron Boone makes an adjustment, and Aaron Boone gets adjusted.
Poor Matt McCarthy tonight, huh?
He'll be on Postgame.
I'm aware. That's what I said. Poor Matt McCarthy. Yeah. He's the anti-story guy. Whew. That was a very nice day.
What just happened there? So Rodon gave up the home run.
Yeah.
But did he go out to the mound, or was it like what? Something happened. I thought, was it just a change of inning?
I think it was just a change of inning. Now here's my interesting thing. So he gives up the dong, right? Now does Boone, if he even starts to slip a little bit at all, does Boone pull him in the sixth? Because I said in there when I was talking to the guys, no way he's going 7. He's through 60, whatever, 71, whatever he was through. But now, if he allows another hit, does Boone think about pulling him? And not because it's Boone. And I think Boone's the worst manager in the sport. I don't even think it's that remotely close. But
it's the third time through the lineup, right? So and just so I know, I reacted there, and Dan did too. That Trevor Story hit a home run.
Everyone knows, Joe.
It's now 3-3.
Just being transparent. Everyone knows.
I know. In case you're not watching.
Fair enough.
I don't know who isn't, because we're here. But Trevor Story went
all right,
deep.
here we go. 4-pitch walk now.
That's not good.
To Bregman.
Go send your pitching.
All right, Skaz. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong because now I'm not sure he's going to be able to get out of the 6th. And your guy Boone, my guy Boone, apparently might
Buffoon
might to pull him. I don't know.
Well, here's the deal. I mentioned third time through the lineup, so Story went deep. Bregman's now reached base, so now you have Romy Gonzalez against a lefty.
Romy's been terrible.
But this is still the advantage the Red Sox want.
Right.
They want. It's almost as if Cora's challenging Boone.
All right,
here he is.
Go.
Cora's challenging Boone to go to the bullpen. This is what the Red Sox want.
Here we go.
This is it. You're right, Dave. This is exactly
that. So now are they going to pull him, or is it just a mountain meeting?
Okay, could be a mountain visit. But this is what Cora wants, and this is why I'm bringing this up. If it's the Yankees side of things, you keep him in the game.
Please let this be the Grady Little moment.
Keep him in the game.
Here we go.
Okay.
It's the Grady Little moment.
Right.
He's staying in the game.
See, I keep him in only because you go to the bullpen, you're done. The Red Sox have artillery off their bench.
Well, I think Dunn is harsh. I think that
you got Massa, you got Abreu and Lowe.
The edge swings. Yeah. Well, again, I think that's exactly what they already have. Cruz and their bullpen ready to go, I think. So I think he's ready.
Someone asked, is Duran the worst fielding outfielder in Major League Baseball?
I think he's probably not, but that was a horrendous. He's up there, though. That was a horrendously bad play. That was really bad. Romy has stunk in this series. This would be a really nice night, even to just work the count, get something here, because then maybe you are pushing Boone to get in his head a little bit more. Nope.
What did you think of them giving Judge a hit, not an error?
That's just home cooking. There's absolutely 0% chance that's a hit.
All right, Dan, I want to do some football with you as well. But what do you think of Hogdale?
What about him?
I'm happy for him.
Oh, dude.
Isn't that the coolest thing?
Dude, he's deserving of it. I mean,
I don't think he was looking for it, by the way.
No, I don't think so.
I think he's just a guy who lives in Iowa.
That's why he's getting it. Because he wasn't looking for it. He's just kind of that dude, and I think that's why everyone appreciates him. Now, I was never and again, I'm not anti-Hogdale. I was just never a big Hogdale guy. But here we go. I'm happy for him. He was at Barstool today. Did you see that?
I did, yeah.
I mean, again, he looks like the nicest dude in the world. So I don't know. I've never met him. Whatever. It seems like a super nice guy.
All right, Dan. Would you rather Pop Douglas
Romy,
or Jarren Duran?
Who's pitching? If it's a lefty, it's easily Pop Douglas.
Would you rather Jarren Duran for the Red Sox or Pop Douglas for the Patriots?
I'll take Pop. Wow. I'll take Pop. I've seen what Pop can do. Now,
the Red Sox could move on from Duran and just be fine.
My thing about Duran is I think if you replaced him with Yoshida, I think you probably downgrade a little bit, but I don't think it'd be the end of the world. And all right, now he's getting 7. They grounded the double play off. That pitch was brutal.
That's Lifshatz.
Good job, Boone. I mean, Boone. I thought Boone. There's no way Boone makes the right decision, and it worked out for him.
Maybe we could do a live stream, Dan, where it's just you and I on a Saturday or Sunday, just with our bets. You know, like, come on, catch the ball!
Well, I'll tell you this, and it can't be on 98.5 Airways, please.
They wouldn't allow us.
Yeah, well.
Well, listen.
I think they would allow us. I think the problem is the language would not be allowed.
I have now opened up about the time that I dropped the Bill Burr act.
Yeah.
We were doing a 7 a.m. show, and I was talking about quarterbacks in the draft. Mm-hmm. And I did, they got the Billy, and they got this, and bleeping, and I went, wait, dump. Yep. So I have at least sworn on the air.
I have too. I have one time.
I can't recall. Was it the Doug McDermott meltdown that you had?
Nope. I swore with Kendra, actually.
Oh.
Not at her. We were just talking, and I just genuinely dropped I think it was an F-bomb.
Wow.
I lied. It was an S-bomb. It was the S word. And so that's what I dropped.
Well, thankfully, we have great producers here who cover our ass.
Yep.
Because
that's right. No,
we would be on our ass.
Yeah. No, Kendra actually pointed it out. It didn't even recognize. I would never have recognized it, honestly. Just went right through.
Was last night about analytics, or was it about Alex Cora?
A little column A, a little column B. Like, again, I honestly, I think you probably should be seeing. I think last night was more about Aaron Boone than I think it was anything else. I think Boone lost them the game. Like, I think Cora, and I guess in the same end, you can probably go with Cora. Like, if I'm Cora in the 9th inning, what are you doing there, Joe? Are you pulling Chapman after 3 straight hits? I am.
I at least thought someone should be warming.
The Whitlock thing. I thought he might have already been warm. I thought that's why.
He was?
Well,
they were both, yeah.
Right, but apparently he was, whatever. But I would have probably gone with Whitlock if I could.
Well,
in that situation,
the cojones to be like, this is your game. I told you, I this is corny, Dan, but I got a little bit of chills when I saw Chapman versus Judge. I was like, this is Red Sox Yankees.
Yeah, well,
this is October baseball.
Chapman has a history of crapping and soiling himself in the playoffs.
You know what? We kind of talked about this last night, but I always say throw the gas, not the ass. It's a big saying of mine.
Yeah.
His splitter was outstanding.
Yeah,
it was the fastball that he struggled with.
Mike, and he definitely didn't get the right warm up, and I think a lot of people have said that, and I didn't pay attention to it because I was doing something else at the same time, so I didn't realize that he hadn't gotten the normal warm up. But it obviously made a huge difference because he came in the 8th, and his fastball was sitting 95, 96. He's usually sitting like 98, 99, 100. That's a major difference for a guy like that, and then like the first couple batters of the 9th, he was sitting like 90, 96, 97. Again, still not, or 97, 98, whatever it was, like still not good enough. So I don't know. It was interesting. I'm glad. He obviously made the right decision. I would have made probably the wrong one, and that's why he's a manager and I'm not.
In a minute or so, what was outside of Boone? Was it the extra base by Solgaard? Challenging Judge? Was it Trevor Story's stolen base to give the insurance run? What was because the free agents between Chapman, Crochet, in the trade, and Bregman, they all had a hand in the game, but everybody else, everybody else did their job. So was there I'm just mentioning little things. Was there another little thing you noticed from last night?
I mean, I guess the littlest thing is just letting Crochet get to almost
117.
I mean, yeah, that's career high, and just and trusting him to still have the stuff and whatever. I mean, it's probably an easy call in hindsight, but
that's what I was gonna say. Isn't it easier to just
Sure.
He's already got a future contract. He's healthy as can be.
But Boone didn't.
Yeah, Boone did. Exactly.
Again, Max Fried has, the same thing.
That Fried was pretty good.
Got the major contract, you know what I mean? Like, you only have one game to pitch him. You got to ride him. And again, I think that was to me the difference of last night was simply one of the managers riding with his guy and one of them not, and taking him out when he could.
Big Cat hit his 50-50 raffle at the Cubs game.
Did he really?
What do you think that's going for? Can you, Dan, if you won a 50-50 raffle, right?
Yep.
And you're Big Cat, you're going to keep that 50-50?
I think he's probably going to donate.
That's what I'm saying. You like if Dan Lifshatz won something.
If I hit the 50-50, I'm probably keeping it. I'm not Dan. I'm not Big Cat.
You could donate a portion of it. That would look good on you.
But I probably wouldn't. You want my honest opinion? I'm probably not doing that. Yeah.
I appreciate your honesty because I bet you 98.5% of the people listening would do the same thing.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, no, I'm not that.
I won a 50-50 at a charity event once.
Did you?
And I just gave him the whole thing.
Okay, well that's different. That's a charity event, not a ball game.
It's
very different. I mean, you're a much more charitable guy than I am. I think anyone and their mother who knows us at all knows that I am the a-hole and you are not. So I think that's a very reasonable, level-headed take there. Yeah.
All right. Well, I worked with Felger on the off-air show today, and
another a-hole.
He actually called himself one. So
he is. I like. That's why I like Felger.
He made mention about how after a concert he was upset with the rideshare driver about driving into traffic and not going around it.
Yep.
And I guess everybody in his family in the car was upset with him. But you know
Why?
what?
Wait, hold on.
I don't want to be the jerk in a car.
You guys are all soft. I have no problem doing that.
If you get it, you mean to tell me you'll talk smack to like a Uber?
No, I won't be. I'll be like, bro, can you go around? Can you find a way around this? This is ridiculous. I'm not going to be an a-hole to him, but I'll be like,
I don't say anything.
Really?
Well, unless I'm like, you know where the casino is, where you can either go Starro or you can continue straight over to Charlestown Bridge.
Are you the dude in the car who's friendly with the driver? Or
yes.
Not? Okay. See, me too.
Or you don't exist. It's either I'm friendly or you don't exist.
Okay. So same here, but in that sort of situation, and I'm probably going to be friendly with him. I'm also probably going to ask him to go around. I think you can probably do a little bit of call him A, a little call him B.
All right.
Is that fair?
It's very fair.
Or am I still the a-hole?
You are still the a-hole, and you're fair.
Okay.
We'll take a break. Lifshatz is here for at least another half hour or so.
Still got to talk about the Patriots and the Panthers. And
I got something on the betting line this week.
Okay. Yeah.
Because last week it was an indication of a beatdown. It was.
Yep. Okay. Just want to let you, before we get that, what did I say was going to happen last week?
You said that the Panthers are going to get their crap kicked in.
And then what did I say after that?
Bryce Young sucks.
Everyone and their mother is going to get in.
In on the Patriots. It's already moved a whole point, I think.
Well,
almost.
It's back.
It's back. I have not seen.
Oh, we can talk about what happened today.
All right. Well, we'll do it coming up next. He's Dan Lifshatz. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub. So we did this last night. We basically watched the entire game. And we reacted to everything with little play-by-play, not much. My days of working with Jerry Trubiano.
That was nasty.
As my boy Troop would say, and he got him.
That was the nastiest pitch. I think that was the nastiest Kelly pitch I've seen all year. 97 on the corner.
Actually, the pitch before when you guys reacted and said, I don't know about Kelly here, both you guys.
3-0. He started at that 3-0 to freaking Volpe.
He dropped like a it looked like just a nice slider right over the middle. The guy spit on it, didn't swing strike. Comes back with him, chases him, got him, and then that one was a dart.
He should have hit the 3-1. Hey, the
3-0. He spit on it. He spit on. Now, generally, you would teach a young hitter would do that. A young hitter would do that.
But I think I hate it, man. 3-0. If it's there, if it's there and it's hanging or
wait, was that Volpe?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say Volpe's got to swing at that.
Yeah. It's 3-0. I mean, you have to have the. I know he sucks, but like you got to give the kid.
But he's batting eighth. He's fighting for his life. No, I agree with you,
dude. New York,
and it was New
York.
It was a slurve right over the middle. Like it was right over the middle. I mean, it would have been a contact hit.
Yeah.
So we're at the top of the seventh inning right now. 3-3, and the Red Sox have already used Bayo, Wilson, Slayton, Matson, Kelly. Just one thing on Bayo. I'm a little pissed about. I'm upset, actually. I shouldn't say pissed. I'm upset. Like him going 2 1/3 with all the history he has against the Yankees. I know his ERA is ballooned. I think he's dead. I think his arm's dead. I think he's tired. He's young. He's never pitched in this league.
This is kind of why I wanted them to go out and get Joe Ryan, basically by any means necessary at the deadline, Joe. Because, and again, at the deadline, it would have cost you Peyton Tolley. That's the deal, you know. But if they get Joe Ryan, it's Joe Ryan versus Rodon here. I mean, the Sox went off at like what 150-ish or whatever. I think they probably go off at 120-ish with Ryan there, maybe lower. I might be honestly too high on that. Might be 110, 115 against Rodon. Like I just, again, that's the difference in the game to me is, you know, sticking with a guy like Bayo. And, of course, Giolito and Bayo, they burn out. Like, you know, that's the problem with sticking with guys like that who are overachieving and not bringing an arm. This is the exact thing that happens. So it sucks. But they're now treating this as Game 7, Joe, because they're going through that bullpen. They're gonna. What was the old term? Roasted, toasted, and burnt to a crisp. Oh, they're going through that bullpen. I mean, seriously, tomorrow night is probably early in Tolley in Harrison. Like that's probably your game tomorrow night if you to get to the 7th. If you don't have you don't win tonight.
Real quick, Dan, before we hit the top of the hour headline here.
Yep.
The Patriots won in convincing fashion.
Yep, not surprising.
I did think that the play calls this week were good with the motion, misdirection, some sweeps, QB sweeps. Let's call them like that, or a little bit of rollouts, things like that.
Got it.
I thought McDaniels and May together collaborated great. When Mike Vrabel was asked about it,
yep.
He was like, hey, what'd you think of the job by Josh McDaniels this week? Well, he didn't want to give Josh McDaniels his flowers.
Okay, which I think is wrong because I think that McDaniels did well last week.
I did too. But why is it when we question it, we're the jerks?
Yep.
But when Vrabel says, well, it wasn't just him, it was everybody, it was this and this. It's kind of like, is this like is there a thing?
It's the blue cocaine. It went from the green cocaine to the blue cocaine, and now the Patriots fan, the former Celtics fans have now become. I think the Celtics fan base has actually kind of generalized and kind of heightened decreased the insanity, and I think now we're on to the Patriots fans where they're just insane now.
I agree, Dan. Awesome. I agree, but what's up with Vrabel? Because
Josh isn't his guy. He didn't want him. It's everyone who knows the team.
But didn't it work though?
Vrabel.
Like, didn't it look good?
Yeah.
So just give him flowers.
Here's the problem. That's the worst defense in football. And no one will talk about it. Go follow Josh Norris, okay? I don't love everything Norris does, but I think Norris does a pretty good job of being very impartial to things. The Carolina Panthers are the worst defensive football by bar none. I don't care about the Baltimore Ravens. I don't care about the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care about the Chicago Bears. I don't care about anything. I don't care what you watch. They're the worst defensive football. It was an easy call. Rodon has completely lost it, by the way. They got to pull him now. He with 3-0, he just hit Duran. Like, Boone's on the step. They're going to pull him. But it was an easy. I don't know how anyone and their mother. Here you go. Rodon's gone. He's out. I don't know how anyone and their mother thought betting Carolina last week was a good idea. It was a terrible bet.
Oh, horrible. I agree with you.
Here's my other side of the coin. Anyone watch the first 3 drives of that game, including the Patriots' first drive? Anyone?
The first drive, bad. Second drive, they scored the touchdown 7-6 on the punt return.
No, that's the first drive. They didn't do anything.
No, I'm saying second drive. The second drive.
First drive for Carolina. I'm talking both teams.
Carolina.
Carolina goes right down. What they utilize?
Bryce Young went 4 for 4.
What they utilize?
Tight ends.
And what? Running back.
Oh, Chuba Hubbard, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you're facing the Bills.
Well, yeah, I brought that up.
2 tight ends.
Yeah.
And a great run game. You're going to get absolutely effing gashed. Yeah. This is going to be, what you did to the Panthers? Get ready. You think the Patriots, I've heard 40-50, Pat's going to win. No, you're wrong. You're going to win. No. This is going to be an ass kicking. I hope you're ready. to be embarrassed on Sunday Night Football. This is not going to be a fun game for people.
I took the Bills at 8.5. It moved to 7.5.
Okay.
Tell us the line on the other side. We'll hit the headline real quick.
2 of the sharpest groups in the world today. Matt Milano back at practice, Ed Oliver back at practice.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
both expected to play.
Wow.
And both are a quote from the coach. Near 100%.
Oh.
Get ready for it.
The Bills are using the first 4 games like an extension of the preseason.
Get ready for it.
All right, let's stoke it up. We'll talk betting lines. We got the Red Sox in a pitching change while the Yankees are.
By the way, Bills are now sitting 8.5, 9 in most places.
Wow.
Because a couple sharp groups came in on that.
Well, because the big boys are showing up.
Well, it's...
And they said, "Oh, what a nice little story there, Drake May."
Because no one outside of New England believes anyone with any real credibility in the industry doesn't think this team is very good. That's the problem.
Okay,
it's the problem.
We'll hit the headline. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports.
From the Telfair Tire Studios, WBZ FM HD1.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Paisley Media Group Station.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox and Yankees tied right now at 3. Top of the 7th inning. Runners on first and second. And a bunt. Nope. Foul. Trevor Story, though, the star of this one for the Sox. 2 hits, 3 RBI, including a home run. Brian Bale, though, 2 1/3 innings, not good enough. Cedon Rafael is at the plate, first and second. Top of the 7th inning, no outs, and it's just some other games today. Padres 3-0 over the Cubs, tied at 1. Tigers, they lose to the Guardians 6-1. Dodgers later on tonight against the Reds. Oh, you jerk. What a jerk. Headlines, they are brought to you by Cape Cod Lumber and CCL Homescapes. 100% employee owned, your go-to independent lumberyard partner with CCL Homescapes for all your building needs in Abington. I'm Joe Murray.
Boston Talk Sports.
Trade Drake May. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Is that the worst playoff bunt you've ever seen? I think that's the worst playoff bunt I've ever seen in my life.
So it's 3-3. Cedon Rafael is at the plate with no outs. First pitch, he fouls a ball off. Second pitch, he pops out a bunt, which is like the worst thing you can do. Again,
No,
I did see Cedon Raffaello play once in the Little League World Series, so I think he knows how to bunt.
He's a great fielder, but his bat has been just an absolute zero in the past couple weeks. And
yeah, he's boomer bust right now.
Here comes Yoshida.
But this is where the levers get pushed, Dan. This is where the buttons. This is where Alex Cora gets all the credit. 2 outs now. Masa Yoshida, who they call the Macho Man? Why? When did that happen?
Dude,
I heard that last night. Macho Man. I'm like, where the hell did that come from?
don't know.
Ooh, yeah. So this is still a favorable matchup, don't you think?
For the Sox?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is what exactly you're hoping for in this sort of situation.
He swung at the first pitch last night. All right, he let the first one go. So maybe
getting Yoshida in this situation is exactly what you want.
What's going on with your phone over there?
Oh,
You on a text chat chain?
Nope, just the normal. This is my phone.
That's just the normal thing?
You know my phone at this point.
No, I know, but at this point, I'm wondering what everyone's gossiping about.
No one cares about this game. They're doing other football stuff and betting stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a Tuesday night game
Filling
tonight in
orders
college
and
to bet on?
No, Thursday.
This week?
We got Sam Houston, New Mexico State Thursday. Winless Sam Houston on the road in New Mexico State, and Sam Houston's favored.
Oh, vomit.
I like Sam Houston a little bit.
No, they've been getting their asses kicked by everybody.
They
hang in there, though. You know
Gunnar
that?
Watson is brutally bad, but they're off the bye. New Mexico State is off the rivalry game with New Mexico. I do think it's a decent spot for Sam Houston, even though they're on the road.
All right, Dan. 3-3-3-0 count. Do you just put them on to force out?
I mean, at this point, I'd rather do that than give him a dead heat.
Well, it would be Story.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the hottest player in the game.
I get it, but I'd rather do that than groove one in there.
They grooved it.
Yeah, he didn't. That's a good pitch. That's a good pitch. He didn't groove it.
The one thing, so people listen. Masa didn't have a good year. He never had a spring training. He's injured.
I don't love the guy. I don't love the player, but he had a great moment last night, and I do think this is his value to the team. He's not worth the contract, you could say, but this is the value to the team, Joe. He's a perfect guy off the bench. He's not a good fielder.
Smart hitter.
Good. I think he's a good, professional hitter. This is exactly where he's valuable. Now, he came through last night, so if he doesn't come through here, you can't crush the guy. But 3-2, this is a big pitch. Oh,
wow.
Chisholm.
Wow.
Go home. He's telling the first base coach is telling him go home.
What is he doing over there?
I don't know what he was doing.
What were you doing?
Dude, you have 2 outs. Run.
What are you doing?
Run.
So everybody on the radio is wondering what's going on.
Jazz did just save a run.
He said, that was definitely 2 runs.
At least one.
So they didn't score. So Yoshida hit I want to call it a CNI single saved by Jazz Chisholm, who threw it to first. They didn't field it cleanly, but there's 2 outs. You need to run, right? Isn't that? I mean, that's the rule. 2 outs, run on anything, right?
Yeah.
How come he didn't wind up?
I don't know why he's not running.
You mentioned the first base coach is all over it.
Just keep running.
So what you do is you just start running to home. You don't stop.
Why
what are you doing?
Eaton.
This is not the first time with this guy.
Eaton.
What are you doing?
That's just bad. You just go.
Me and this guy have problems. I don't.
See, I like Eaton. I think he's
you
a
would
good
think that me and a guy named Eaton would get along, wouldn't you?
Fair. I mean, yeah. I guess that's why I like him.
But score!
Dude,
what are you doing,
dude? You got to be running there. You have to be running there.
I need Skaz.
Especially when you see where the ball is, right?
Anything, Skaz? Shouldn't he have scored? Come on. I know we're 2 guys who are just yelling.
Yeah, I mean, should he have scored? Probably yes. But, I mean, if that's fielded correctly by the first baseman, he's hosed at home.
You can't throw.
But
first
again,
baseman?
if it's fielded by the first baseman, again, it doesn't line up perfectly.
And then he's got to make a good throw towards the left hand, the third base side.
I mean,
that can't be something that's caught on the batter's box and tag over.
Now, again, the question is, how do you feel about Story? So I guess.
Yeah, I'm fine.
That is the other thing.
I'm fine not making the final out at home there.
You got your best hitter, one of your best hitters coming up.
I want you to be aggressive.
It's a tie game. You're not down a run.
Yeah, but you're into their bullpen. You have 3 chances.
Just living and dying on every
You know what I
pitch
mean?
here.
Like you have 3 chances. At some point you have to be somewhat aggressive, and I think that's the situation.
This is what I want to teach intern Mark from Curry. This is what it's like, man. Every pitch in the playoffs, Red Sox versus Yankees, bro. We're just questioning everything all the time.
Yeah, I mean that's
it's just all, and everybody is praying in New York right now.
seriously.
Who would have thought Trevor Story is the guy that people fear? Oh baby.
Get out. Get out. You didn't.
Warning track power.
Wrong place in the
Hit it
ballpark.
400 feet to center field. But
Wrong
out.
place in the ballpark.
Oh, that pitcher's. I don't like that. I didn't like that.
Buddy, you got lucky.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. He's
flexing.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Oh, he's flexing hard.
Yeah, he's flexing really hard. He got lucky. Dude.
Well, let's take this call because people have calls.
Ridiculous. All right, go ahead.
Eric in Worcester. Hi, Eric.
Hey guys, thanks for the play-by-play on the Sox. I'm driving home, but I got a pretty cool league I'm in. Got to pick 5 teams with the spread, college or pros, every week. Got to go 5 for 5 and win the pot. What do you guys like this week?
What do
college
you like?
and pros with the spreads.
I'm doing a podcast.
Well, let me do this.
How about this? I'll give you this. The Bills.
Okay, that's one right there.
I bet the Bills. I already gave it out.
Hey, Eric, there's a podcast. It's called the Boston Handicappers Network.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to make
And they're doing their podcast tonight. So it'll probably drop tomorrow. They're going to do college and NFL, and you should listen to that.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I'm betting the Bills.
That was a chance for me to solicit your
I appreciate
podcast.
it. I appreciate it. Getting back to the NFL side, though, because I got some tweets on what I said. Yeah, I do think this is a horrendous. So the Bills' defense has not been great. I completely agree with that. Have they faced a good defense so far, Joe? Who in your mind have they faced that is even moderately decent?
Moderately, Pittsburgh, and they weren't good.
Okay, Pittsburgh's success rate against the pass right now, 32nd. Pittsburgh's success rate
the
against
Vikings
the
game
run
last week.
is 26. Like, they have not been a great defensive team, even though they have good defensive players. They have not been great defensively. Vegas is terrible. Carolina's arguably the worst in the league, I think easily, but either way, arguably the worst in the league. And Miami is right there too. I mean, they didn't get a stop for basically 2 straight weeks, Joe. So the overreaction to kind of what we're seeing is, I think, where I think people are not really bridging the two, right? They're not bridging the two.
I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I said last night, do you think the Patriots' identity is if they don't turn the ball over, they win?
No, I don't think that's the case.
What is their identity, Dan?
I don't think they have an identity. Here's my problem is you want to know the real identity? Their identity is a short pass game, and that's it. Like,
you're right, because last week we discussed about how they didn't throw the ball past 8 yards.
This
week they opened up a little bit.
They had one again. Drake May, 0 big time throws.
What about the one to Stephon Diggs down the side? It wasn't a pressure.
That's not a big time
wasn't
throw.
a pressure throw.
He's open. What ball was not 20 yards in the air. Diggs made the most of the play. Now, good throw. I don't want to be critical here. Good throw and good play by Stephon Diggs. That's his most explosive play of the year, obviously. But again, remember the situation. Bad defense, you're drubbing them. People are wildly overreacting again this week, which is kind of predictable when you knew that they were going to kill them last week. But they're going to Buffalo on Sunday night. People think this team is going to win easily, or they're going to beat this Bills team. Has anyone been watching the Bills? They score at will. Your defense has been horrendous this year. You haven't faced a single top 15 offense in EPA, and you still gave up 30 to Miami. How many did you give up to Miami? 20, whatever it was, 26? Mm-hmm. And 400 passing yards to Vegas? This is... People just do not understand. The Patriots haven't played anyone yet. The season hasn't really started. They're 2-2 against 4 of the bottom dwellers in the league, and people are going to say, well, Pittsburgh had a nice win versus Minnesota. Absolutely, no doubt, against the backup. You face Carson Wentz. I mean, that's a team who has basically, no legs there. I really don't want to. I'm just not giving the team much credit. I'm sorry. And I think that that's kind of where the number is, and that's why the line is where it is. And I've asked, why is the line 7.5? Why is it 8.5? Because there's not getting the respect out of the league. Drake may, again, I think Drake has been good, but it's not super difficult to be good when you haven't really faced anyone. Again, it's kind of like why college football people overreact wildly to the first 3 weeks of the season. And then all of a sudden, weeks 4, 5, and 6, you go, what happened? Well, Alabama didn't play anyone. That's what happened. You know what I mean? And again, Florida State didn't play anyone. You know what I mean? So it's the same type of concept. It's why the market is what the market is, and that's why people who generally bet on football do a pretty poor job at it. That's why. Because they just overreact so quickly to things, and they're not trying to be impartial about it. So I think this is going to be a bad week.
I agree, Dan. Raj is in Cali. Hey, Raj.
Hey, what's up, guys? I love listening to the play-by-play. Couple things. Very frustrating watching Eaton just sit there at third and not go. And they were showing the announcers were even saying he could have easily scored. You see Flores from the first base side, waving him in. The other thing also, this is the first time in years. Yesterday was the first time in years that I actually watched a full Red Sox game. That's talking about the importance of having playoff baseball. And then a third quick thing is that I know there's a tape delay, right? Because I'm listening to you out in California. I'm watching the game on TV, but I have the MLB game day on the phone, and I found that on the phone it's actually a full 2 pitches, about 38 to 25 seconds ahead of what's actually going on. So I didn't know if that's the same thing with you guys out there.
Wow. Yeah. No, we just watched a strikeout. I don't know if you already got that or not. Aaron Judge is walking to the plate.
Yeah. It shows that on the game day, but yeah, it's basically a full 2 pitches ahead if you have the game day up on your phone ahead of the broadcast.
I can tell you why that is, Raj. They've actually extended a lot of the delays because of the gambling.
The gambling, of course.
It's the gambling thing, man.
Well, didn't DraftKings come out with something now that they can judge if it's late or? So
Caesars and FanDuel are usually the 2 best live systems, in my opinion. They're far ahead of everyone. Even Circa, they're just bookmakers the best, but most people don't know what that is. So Caesars and FanDuel would be the ones I'd be looking if you just want to watch, live or whatever. You don't want to actually watch the game.
All right, Dan, I want to ask you worst beat of the year on the other side. And did you see the Indiana stuff? We'll get into all that coming up here on the other side. Dan Lifshatz is here. I'm Joe Murray. We are watching. All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Up. That was a pretty encouraging inning.
Well,
Inning.
mostly.
Inning.
Whitlock got it together. Didn't love the double.
Yeah, and they got out of it, though.
Yeah, got out of it. Good pitching. The strike three to Judge was a dart.
Dan, do you watch baseball like this? Have you watched games like this year?
I watched every single playoff game pretty much through the whole thing.
But did you
during the
feel,
season?
were you living on every pitch like this?
No, I don't care like that at all.
Me either.
No, I mean, again, for the most part, my baseball watching consists of nights in the summer when I want to watch something and I have some money on the game. Pretty much it. Like that's pretty much all I watch. I watch obviously the Red Sox, but like I'm saying, like non-Red Sox games, I'll watch there and pay attention to the games and watch the highlights and whatever the next day. But yeah, whatever.
I would say overall, being here at night, we've watched a lot of the games.
Well, you makes sense for you to watch the games. You're doing the show.
No, but you know what though? Like there are other options.
Yeah, like the WNBA.
Well, there is wrestling and stuff
Fair
like
enough.
that.
I would say the WNBA, by the way, just cannot get out of their own way.
I know. I know. Oh boy, I know. Imagine telling Caitlin Clark you need us.
Here's the problem: the players are just as dumb as the commissioner, and it's everyone involved. It's both sides. They all need to take like a big step back and be like, okay, I'm not an NBA player, and I don't deserve to get paid the same. Okay. You guys are professionals, and we deserve to pay you more. There needs to be like a meeting of the minds there, but both of them are absolutely just both the players and the league are both insanely stupid and dead set on doing what they want to do. So there's just going to be it's a war now basically. But there's going to be a lockout. The players are dumb. The management dumb. They're all dumb. It's frustrating to watch as someone who like actually watches the sport. I just look at them and it's like you guys are all just idiots. Like what are you doing?
The dumb.
They finally have the sport like somewhat being recognized. Like hey, let's ruin it. Like do you guys remember the NHL before the lockout? The NHL had grown rapidly right before the lockout. Then they locked out. You know who cares about the NHL now? Outside like Boston, like the big major cities, there's not a lot of people who care, like, in Canada, obviously, but like, it's not like a diehard sport. Like, no one in Iowa is like begging to watch the NHL. It's not a thing. So you got to capitalize when you have the opportunity, and the WNBA is squandering it from both sides.
Dan, we asked this question last week, but college football is considering a commissioner.
Yeah, no.
If you had a suggestion for a name, who would be your name?
The name would be absolutely no one. There's 0%.
I can't even get a name, bro.
0%
I can't even get a fun name.
Do you want to hear the name that's being floated the most? Condoleezza Rice.
She
would be she admitted to not watching football when she was on the committee a couple years ago.
That's right.
I mean, honestly, if I could say how I really felt about her on here, I would. I can't. That's how bad I feel about her. Okay, she would there's no one who's good for the game. No one. The people who want like the NAL is great for the players, and I love it for them. But transferring every year and doing this over, everyone sucks in college football this year. There is not a single good team, Joe. No one.
No, there isn't.
Clemson sucks. Alabama.
What about
got destroyed by Florida State? Okay, Oregon went, but it said more about Penn State than it did about Oregon. Oregon's best opponent has been Penn State. Let me watch Oregon play Ohio State and see what happens. They haven't played anyone. I don't think Penn State's good. I don't think Oregon's good. No one's good. Last year, there were like 4 or 5 really good teams. There's no one good this year. Notre Dame sucks. Okay? BC sucks. Where are the BC boys at, huh?
Where are the BC boys
617-779-0985. Haven't heard you in a minute, huh?
How's
Bill O'Brien doing? Coaching his booty off, right?
That's right.
Backdoored on the old Cal game there.
Two games in a row, by the way.
Good coaching.
Lost to Michigan State.
What
on
a
the backdoor
really
in
good
overtime.
coach Bill O'Brien is. Let me tell you.
Just so great.
He's just really building that program.
Suspect.
Yeah.
I liked it, and now I'm wrong.
Oh, there you go.
I was wrong.
I never wavered. Never wavered. BC fans were celebrating an almost win against Sparty.
Do you think there's anybody
You guys
that can
are
help
embarrassing.
BC? Can anybody help,
Embarrassing.
can anybody help BC?
Yeah, not Bill O'Brien. You need to bring in a coach, an actual coach.
What about
not
the dude
a
who just got
dinosaur.
fired at Arkansas?
He's a dinosaur. Pittman? I mean, I love Pittman, but Pittman doesn't move. Pittman isn't going to build a program.
Yeah.
That's not who he is. Like, you need a guy. Again, my name is going to be a guy who no one knows. It's Jason Eck. He basically went to New Mexico this year and built an FCS All-Star roster in New Mexico, and they've been really good. No one expected New Mexico to be. No one expected them to be any good at all. I think their win total was like 3.5, 4. Again, Eck is a good. You need a good coach who's going to build a program. It's Boston College. They're the bottom of the ACC. The ACC is the bottom of the Power Four. Understand where you are. So no one. You have to find a good coach, Joe. Not a big name, a good coach. Bill O'Brien, big name, dumb coach. He's not a good coach. He's just not. He's a good coordinator. Okay, he's one of those good coordinators, bad coach. That's who he is. And unfortunately, everyone remembers what happened at Penn State with Joe Pa, and he came in and kind of fixed everything and was, steering the ship there. He had gobs of talent compared to what teams do now. That's the difference. So, yeah, they need to hire a program builder, not a dinosaur. Okay, don't give me Bill Belichick. I don't want him either. Nope. They need a program builder. Okay, why do you think Dabo is getting exposed and all these guys are getting exposed this year, Joe? Because they're not good coaches. They're not good coaches, or they're formerly good coaches. They're not program builders. They're just good at one thing. Hire the right guys around them.
All right.
Low
Vaughn.
That was bad. That was a bad at bat too.
Low Vaughn, everybody.
This game is just going to keep going.
We have guests supposedly coming in shortly. They have texted me.
I will get my butt up out here, and people can stop listening to me rant.
No, you got until you need to leave.
Yep. This is just for.
So you are you? Is this reverse Lifshatz jinx right now, or what is this?
Why'd you do it?
What do we call it? Like we're getting Lifshatz.
Just the RJ.
We're getting Shats.
Just the RJ.
Reverse jinx.
Yeah, just the RJ.
Okay.
Just the RJ. That's all. This team sucks.
Carlos Narvaez should have stayed with the Yankees.
Say he sucks. Just say he sucks.
Sucks. I don't even know why he's in the lineup tonight. Connor Wong should have been catching Bayo anyway.
I can't remember who I said that. I literally tweeted that. I was like, this whole team sucks. No one can hit. And the next next pitch. I was like, all right, he's gonna keep doing it all night.
Well, last night we were like, let's pull the old RJ. Yep. Let's do the old Lifshatz, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, did Milliken take the day off today?
I don't know. Did he?
I'm just curious if he was in today.
I did listen to the midday show. I didn't hear him. Could have missed him. I was only listening for about.
Sounds like there was a lot of nice
minutes.
swag bags going on over there.
I did hear the guys talk about the Super Bowl halftime show. Very controversial.
Well, I would like a swag bag if they got the bag full of like nice shirts.
Yeah,
like Celtic shirts. I know Skaz loves those.
Oh yeah, Skaz should be getting that. Skaz does the Celtics podcast.
This is why I'm making a petition.
I would agree.
So if you're listening,
I'll sign it.
Yeah, listening.
I have no poll. I have zero poll. In fact, I have negative poll. But I will still gladly advocate for Skaz.
I would take the largest jersey that you have. All right, Dan, I got to say bye to you, buddy.
Okay.
Dan Lifshatz, everybody, Boston Handicappers Network. We'll take a break. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headline.
So after the game, we'll take your calls all night long and react to everything tonight. But right now, the Red John Color Stanton has actually grounded out. Excuse me. So it's 3-3 right now. We'll be potentially going into the ninth inning shortly. So we're expecting guests in studio. So we'll if there is a result, we will move on from our guests. But there's a big event going on in Lowell, and TNA Wrestling will be a part of it. It's bound for glory, and I'm trying to get my intern Mark to find them. So we hopefully will get them on. Excuse me, in a minute here. But again, the Red Sox and Yankees tied at 3. It's bottom of the 8th inning. I wanted to mention the Jazz Chisholm last night. His press conference late in the game wasn't great. He was vividly upset about not starting. He turned his back to the reporters. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the greatest. But he's back in the starting lineup tonight. Big swing and a miss. Garrett Whitlock is in the game, everybody. The guy who didn't pitch last night, it's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing that they had him in here tonight. Because last night, people thought that they probably should have used him in the 8th inning, but they did not. So we'll get it all going. So looks like Whitlock again with another pitch. Nice little at bat with Jazz Chisholm. And we will react, everybody. We'll react. We got Skaz here. We'll bases. That looks like we got ourselves a base runner. So full transparency, it's Red Sox and Yankees right now. Tie game. And, well, we'll certainly keep you posted here with a lot going on here. But I believe we have a TNA wrestler in studio. You can put that headphone on for you. Let me turn the little Skaz, if you want to pot him up. It is TNA International Champion. What are we? Yeah, because you're the former world champion, right? What happened?
As of right now, former international.
Oh!
Lost it this past Friday at Victory Road against Frankie Kazarian, but I enacted my rematch clause at Bound for Glory, which is October 12th at the Songin Arena. I'm looking forward to my rematch.
Well, listen, you were the first.
Yes.
International champion. Let's get that right.
We're half right.
So I know by the way, I'm a huge fan. My name is Joe Murray. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Joe.
I've watched you over the last couple of years. I know now you're with TNA, and I know you had your start years ago with your NXT. Nice little run there. And from the story that I remember about you, you served in the military.
I did, yes. I was in the United States Marine Corps for 4 years. 2007 and 2011. I was with 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. I was a machine gunner. I was infantry. Deployed to Afghanistan in 2009 and 2011. And I got out, got into a wrestling ring, fell in love, and the rest is history.
You literally fell in love, huh?
Fell in love. found my love for wrestling and found the love for my wife.
And you guys do I only saw this the other day because I have a friend, Justin Barrasso, wrote for Sports Illustrated for years. Now he works for the Boston Herald here. And he mentioned to me, is it Boots to Boots?
Boots to Boots podcast.
There we go. See, I know my stuff.
I appreciate it. Thank you. The episode 3 just dropped this past Monday. We have episode 4 dropping this Monday. The first 4 episodes are kind of about us, our journey, and it kind of was the birth child of my wife's idea of taking my superpower, like she likes to call it, from transitioning from the military of my combat boots going to my wrestling boots. And that crossroads, what was that transition like? And then now that's kind of just turned into this body of work that we call Boots to Boots as a podcast of, we want to know that story for everybody else. Not just combat boots to wrestling boots, but for you, if you're going to change career after this from radio to something else, what are you going through? Nobody ever talks about that transition or that crossroads in their life. So that's kind of what Boots to Boots is all about.
I love that. Husband and wife podcast seems to be a popular thing, but, you know, you guys are at different promotions.
Yes.
you can talk about some of the different backgrounds you have. Probably both face adversity in different ways.
And we meet all walks of life. Everybody from all over the world, different bodies of work in their life, coming from music to fitness to just college athletes, which I like to call the NXT roster failed college athletes. We'll get into that a little bit later, I guess. But no, it's just you find those transitions. What I even said today when we were talking at a school at UMass Lowell.
Oh, nice.
Talking to a class there today. It's like you guys are going to come to a crossroads at your point where you get your degree and you're not going to know what's going to go on after that. You think you're going to have an idea of it, but things are going to just kind of go down a different path and you just kind of figure out life that way.
So are you a sports fan in general?
I am. I'm a Yankees fan. So
Oh, my God.
hey, I grew up in Rutherford, New Jersey. It's
Okay.
hard not to be a Yankee fan. I'm a Giants fan, so my wife's a Patriots fan. Go figure.
There you go. No, this is good. So just to set you up, so we're on 98.5 The Sports up in Boston. We're the home of the New England Patriots, Boston Celtics, Boston Bruins, and New England Revolution. They're our soccer team. So the Red Sox are on our competitor. They're playing the Yankees in a big game right now. So obviously you can tell, the Yankees look, play at the plate. Safe or out?
We'll get a review on that one.
I think we're going to need a review on that one, Steve. But Garrett Whitlock is in the game. Line drive down the line, played off the wall. I believe a one hop to home. It was actually a closer play than I thought. Jazz Chisholm flying around the bases. When you guys were walking in, I was talking about last night how Jazz Chisholm was upset that he wasn't in the starting lineup and kind of had his back to the media. Tonight they put him back in, and looks like he may have the go-ahead run here for the Yankees. Oh, right on the line. Wow, and played off the wall. So everybody here in Boston's watching because the Yankees lose tonight. They're out.
Yeah.
So very interesting stuff here, but we can chat it up. It looks like he was safe if we're looking at a review. You know what? Do you think reviews could ever happen in wrestling? Like I know there's the kayfabe angle of it all, but
you can. Yeah, I think you can make anything work as long as it's done right. I know with ref reviews, the closest we'll ever get to is like if a ref doesn't see something, you get the old story of the referee coming running down from the back. No. This is what happened. And then they make the match continue. Is kind of that way of doing it. But to go to a play call or some type of review, I don't know if that could happen, but it could probably work. Somebody will do it at some point.
So obviously TNA is a huge event that's going on. Bound for Glory, it's in Lowell. I know you said you were there today. Saugus Arena, it's going to be lit. We've been promoting this now for a couple of weeks. We had the Hardys in last week. I know 3D is going to be one of the big matches. It's kind of like the big highlight match there, but I remember watching a match with you. I can't remember your opponent, but it was a barbed wire match.
It was a barbed wire massacre at Victory Road in Nashville. And it was against Moose and Sami Callihan. And it's one of my favorite matches because my wife was actually in Nashville on her bachelorette the same weekend. So here I am cutting and brutalizing myself in a barbed wire massacre match, and that I won. And then my wife is out in Nashville having a good old time.
That's funny. So Moose played for the New England Patriots. Yes. Quinn Ojanaka, I believe, was his professional sports name. Had a run with the Patriots. I think he was on their might have been a part of a championship team to start the season, but he has really turned his career around. And I know that you had a match with AJ Francis as well. Mm-hmm. Everyone might know him as his top dog. I don't know what he's going, but I know him personally as AJ Francis. Hell of a football player, played for the Patriots as well.
He's a hell of a talent in the wrestling ring too. He backs up everything that he talks.
So he likes
to talk. If you haven't figured that out and following him on Twitter or Instagram or any social media, AJ Francis likes to talk.
He was a good player here. In college, he played with another player, Joe Villano. Our listeners will know.
Yeah, because he was at Maryland.
Good player. And the transition must be wild. Like when you're you're a guy that was military trained, going to wrestling, but there is a certain way to learn it. You probably were in great physical shape for it. Mm. Some of these athletes, though, playing football is different. Playing basketball is different. How you just kind of put him over as he's really worked on his game. He's great at talking, but the challenge from changing from sport to wrestling must be tough.
That's the fun thing in wrestling, though, is everybody has their strengths, everybody has their weaknesses. And you could be a good talker, you could also not be that great of a wrestler, but at the same time, you're going to back it up another way. And then that's where, if you and I were to have a match, How am I going to work around your weaknesses with my strengths, but also my strengths and your weaknesses and your strengths to my weaknesses? So that's the fun dynamic of pro wrestling. It's like that's where the magic happens.
Oh yeah, the magic happens. It's funny. Sometimes I do like to just watch promos. Sometimes I just want to see guys, interfere in the match and break it up. You've been to a couple of promotions now. You're working with great professionals. There's no doubt about that, man. Like you're working with great guys. But why should people come out and see you at Bound for Glory?
Well, because you're going to see me win back my TNA International Championship that I was kind of stolen from me in a way. I really don't like to say that. I took my eye off the prize. El Macias came down the ramp, kind of distracted me for a moment. And with the referee's back turn, which I went on replay and watched, while the ref's back was turned, Frankie Kazarian kicked the bottom rope into my groin for a low blow. Yes, I should have just focused on the match and not on the opponent ringside, but I promise at Bound for Glory in Lowell, Mass, October 12th, when I win back the TNA International Championship, my first goal is to go down to Mexico at AAA and whip on some butt there in old El Macias.
Well, you like going up down to Mexico?
It'll be my first time going down there, and I'm going down there with a fight. So
different.
It's a different dynamic,
yes. The lucha style.
I love that style.
So you love the animosity. You love the pressure situation. That's what it's going to be for you.
Put the pressure on me, please.
So speaking of that, so some of the things I remember about you, and I'm just kind of spitballing off it. I remember at one point you were part of King Corbin's crew. I know we're going back a ways.
Yeah, the Knights of the Lone Wolf. That was right before I was let go with WWE, and it was something different we were trying. And I did not understand the concept at first because they wanted us in sweatshirts with our hood up and then in suits and dress shoes. And I'm like, what do we do? Like, if we're Knights, like, why aren't we, like, Blake and I, my old tag partner, were trying to come up with different gimmick idea names and looks, and it just, what is this? So we took what they gave us and we tried the best with what we could do with it.
So what's it like now? TNA and I want to say it's a partnership.
Yeah.
TNA and NXT. I want to say it's a partnership, but there's like an invasion.
It's a showdown now. It's not so much an invasion anymore. It was originally called Invasion. Now it's the showdown, as Santino said this past Tuesday.
Yes.
But for us, it's kind of been them taking our titles in this working relationship and kind of giving us the raw end of the deal in a way, with a lot of the talent just kind of treating us like the bastard stepchild, I guess, in a way. But so now we kind of went there. We invaded a few weeks ago, and we kind of just had enough. And now here we are going to BFG. You have Mike Santana versus Trick Williams trying to get back the TNA championship back to TNA. You have the Hardys next Tuesday on October 7th at Showdown, having a match against Dark State for the TNA and the NXT tag titles both on the line. So hopefully bring some gold. Then you have Mustafa Ali now against Ethan Page for the North American title. So TNA could be taking a lot of gold in one night.
Last time we had the Hardys in, I thought it was more of everybody kind of going at, hey, we don't like the fact that these two are going at it and it's not a TNA championship. But as I was kind of following along here, I feel it now. Like,
yeah.
The TNA championship with NXT, like, isn't that why people went to go to TNA to be different and not necessarily be fed to the monster? Think about for your situation. You had a little run, like you had a good thing going, and they made changes, and you're now, you're back. You're back. You're creating yourself. You're branding your brand. You were a heavyweight champion. You just won. You mentioned the inaugural championship. Like, is it odd working potentially or partnering with the guys who let you go?
No, that's wrestling business. Everything's ever changing, and for us to have this working relationship with WWE and TNA, it's brought a lot more eyes to our product. Because when we had the rebrand as Impact Wrestling, before that rebrand, I should say, Impact Wrestling was just this bubble, just kept building and building and building, and people were realizing, oh wow, Impact Wrestling is really good. They have a good roster. They're telling good stories. And when we did have that rebrand over a year ago, or 2 years almost, back to TNA Wrestling, it brought more eyes and more ideas, and people like, oh wow, this is really cool and this is something special. And then it got even more special with that working relationship, which has brought a lot more eyes to us. It's got us on the cusp of a new TV deal as TNA. We're trying to bring more eyes on the product. That means more butts in the seats. That means selling out at the Song and Arena for BFG. We did that at Slammiversary. We had the biggest northern gate in TNA history for TNA wrestling, and now we're trying to outdo that at Bound for Glory.
Well, I got to mention, there's a lot that TNA is doing. I'm a fan of the Kowloon restaurant. People who listen to our show know I am like, I love Andy Wong. He does a great job over there, but it's been a spot for wrestlers for literally 75 years.
I drank maybe about 4 of those big fish, like Dragon Bowls.
Oh, yeah.
Last time where there were Mai Tais and all that.
All right, so you know about it.
That crab rangoon's really good there, too.
There we go. So we're probably 15 minutes away from there.
Oh.
So
Ross.
Rita Ross knows what's up.
Yeah.
But yes, there's going to be a lot going on here just for the people in the area. It's going to be a great weekend. There's going to be a lot of meet and greets that pop up. I know Kowloon's doing something. TNA is going to be a part of it as well. There'll be other stops that you guys have. But do you have any stories about Boston? I know you mentioned that your wife is a Patriots fan. But any stops to the area outside of wrestling in your life?
No, just wrestling's kind of been my stops here for even in Worcester. I keep saying that wrong.
It's Worcester, but it's fine.
Sorry.
Where are you originally from?
Rutherford, New Jersey.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that.
Yeah. So I did Beyond Wrestling there a few times.
Beyond, yep.
So I got to work with that indie promotion, great promotion out there in Worcester, and then also we did the TD Garden at one point during the Survivor Series angle with NXT and Raw and SmackDown at one angle. We got to do a run in there and kind of invade SmackDown and Raw, and then being here in NXT as well, we had a live event. I forget the name of the venue. ROH used to run a bunch.
There's so many spots. Well,
it's in Lowell.
The Memorial Stadium. That place is a barn burner, bro. That is. And NXT actually had a show. You might have been there.
Was it the Finn and Joe one?
Yeah, it was Finn and Joe. I was there. Yeah,
they changed the title.
It was awesome. That was one of the best events I went to.
What a great! I wish they released that at some point out of the vault or something, because that was a great live event.
Yeah, Samoa Joe won in essentially a dark match.
Yeah, it was a live event. Titles really don't switch hands on live events, so when something like that happens, it's very special and very really cool to see. But yeah, everything's kind of been wrestling related. But I love Boston. We're coming up a day early. My wife and I we're gonna go into Salem.
This time of year, dude.
That's the one thing I'm kind of like. I'm like, we're gonna hit that traffic, but it'll be worth it.
What would be the costume for you guys?
I don't know, because my mom's coming with us too for BFG, so it's gonna probably just be us and civvies just hanging out.
There's a lot of good stuff. Salem's great. It's crazy. Everyone's in costume. There'll be ghost tours.
That'd be cool.
The food though,
it's really good.
Listen, this area, it's about lobster and seafood and clam chowder. You got to try all that stuff. And I know you're New Jersey guys, so you're very similar to a lot of the stuff here on the East Coast.
Yeah, I love it up here. When we're up here, even in Rhode Island area, for when we did TVs up there, we did a lobster tour from New York all the way up. I hit maybe 4 different places for lobster rolls. So
I love hot. Are you hot buttered or?
I tried both, and there was one place the hot butter was better than the cold, and there was another place that was better cold than it was hot. Was it you have the New England version?
Yeah, and, the Connecticut style, I think they call it.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention to you, I know that you give a lot back. You mentioned that you're in service. I was reading somewhere that do you guys do some sort of marathon to give back to the community there as a part of maybe some of the events from 9/11 from years ago? Maybe you can share a little bit more light on that.
My wife and I have been working with Tunnel to Towers, which is an organization that helps first responders, veterans, and those spouses that have lost somebody that they've loved in the NYPD or police, where they take care of their mortgages. They also take care of the veterans with their smart homes who are coming home disabled and trying to figure out how to get back regular into life, and then also helping homeless veterans. And Frank Siller started this organization after his brother Steven Siller paid the ultimate sacrifice on 9/11 by pretty much saw 9/11 happen, was home, grabbed his gear, hopped through the tunnel, and then climbed towards the tower, and then that was kind of his end, but he gave the ultimate sacrifice trying to save his brothers and help his brothers. And for us, it's something very special to be a part of. We did the tower climb at World Trade Center 1, or the Freedom Tower, in June, and then we just did the 5K this past Sunday. And I tell you right now, if you ever want to do a 5K, walk it, run it, it is a very emotional experience to where me as a veteran, it brought some tears. It felt really cool to see, because coming out of that second mile and a half, you come out that tunnel, NYPD, FDNY, all carrying draped flags over with faces of all the police, firemen, of men that have lost their lives, paid that sacrifice on 9/11. And then you have American flags. You have United States Marine Corps, Army, Navy, all people that are in service. We had the West Point cadets running ahead of us. And it was just something and very patriotic that felt so cool to be a part of. Because for me, and I know a lot of my friends and a lot of my brothers that I served with, that pull out of Afghanistan kind of felt like a slap in the face, kind of what we did. And this kind of just reestablished to me of like, I know what I fought for and what I thought freedom was and what my country was. And seeing that the other day was just something very special.
Man, powerful stuff. I'm sure you get a lot of support. There's a lot of, again, coming from me, that's good stuff, man. Like, that's something to get behind, support. I've watched your career. When Ross mentioned to me that Steve Maclin was coming out, I was like, hey, I remember that guy.
Appreciate
and
it. You didn't forget me. You didn't forget me.
I did not forget you, but you know what? You've now come up the ranks.
Thank you.
I mean, where at times tag team partner, sometimes just pushed along with the night crew with the. But now you're holding a championship.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
You'll get it back.
It's a marathon, not a sprint in wrestling. I'll tell you that. And if you need more information about Tunnel to Towers, go to t2t.org. If you want to donate. If you want more information about to be involved, just go to t2t.org. And it's just a really good organization to be a part of.
All right, he's Steve Maclin, everybody. Check him out. October 12th, Songus Arena, Lowell, Mass, Bound for Glory. Dude, the next 10 days are...
You gonna be there?
I'm gonna go. Yes.
Good.
And I worked the Patriots game, so they moved it that day.
Okay.
So he was going to be at 4:00. Now it's a 1:00. So now everybody can leave and head to Lowell after the Patriots.
My wife and I just got tickets for Pat's Atlanta November 2nd, so I'm looking forward to that.
I know a guy. Ross knows a guy. Okay. So when you come back to town, I'll hook you up. Okay. His name is Sarge.
Okay, perfect.
He wasn't in the service, but he's got the voice.
Good.
So we call him the Sarge, and he's the PA guy for the Patriots. And,
okay. Yeah, my wife loves it because I'll be wearing a Giants jersey under everything.
Oh,
don't worry.
Hey, Steve, appreciate you coming by, man.
Sure,
best of luck. Love everything that you do, and I love your story, man. And maybe we're an out away from Red Sox Yankees potentially going to game 3.
Well, they'll be here Friday, so.
Oh, that's right.
I honestly have still yet to be at a game in Fenway. That's we got one more.
Well, it's all gonna be in New York, unfortunately, with this wild card series. So,
tomorrow then, right?
It'll be tomorrow.
Friday? Oh, okay.
Maybe 6 o'clock. So it looks like there could be
a
game 3, depending on what happens here. We'll take a quick break, and we will react to everything. Thanks to Steve Maclin. Check it out. Bound for Glory, October 12th. I'm gonna be there. I know everyone else is too. this one. We're going to react to it coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Headlines, they are brought to you by your business, Concord Group, your business deserves insurance that works as hard as you do. Ask your independent agent about Concord Group Insurance. I'm Joe Murray.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
There will be a game 3 tomorrow night, so there you might be able to hear the momentum taken out of my sail right now. But the momentum has Uncle Mo now on the other side here after the 4-3 loss tonight. Phone lines are open, 617-779-0985. So intern Mark, this is for you, buddy, tonight. Get ready back there. They're going to be rolling in, and this is the place to do it, live and local. And we're joined by Matt McCarthy, postgame. He was with us last night. I'm deflated. Is that an okay word for it, Matt? How are you feeling right now?
Joe, that was a kick in the balls. There's no other way to say it. That one hurt. There's so many things to get into with that one. Alex Cora went for it, and he got burned, and the team got burned. And, now as a result, they're in a bad position heading into tomorrow. As good a position as they were heading into tonight with, they are in as equally bad a position heading into tomorrow with the state of that bullpen coming off this one. There's so many different, places we can go with this. The 7th inning was a disaster. Brian Bayo didn't give them anything tonight. Maybe he's available tomorrow, Joe. Only 28 pitches. I'm only half joking about that. The 8th inning with Garrett Whitlock, there's a lot to get to. I don't know where you want to get to first, but simply put, that one stings. There's no other way to say it. That one stings. The way they lost that game, they certainly had their opportunities, and they were not a smart enough baseball team. They were not a clean enough baseball team to advance to the American League Division Series tonight, and they no doubt cost themselves in that game in a big way.
First time in a long time that they've been in this situation. Generally, when they've been in a closeout situation, they've been so successful, right? It was 8 straight, something like that. That they've been able to advance in this situation. So I don't know where to start, but why don't we start with Whitlock? What did you see from him on the hit down the line? Was it the Chisholm before that? In a way, like Whitlock had his struggles, but also got some strikeouts. He battled out there. I guess we should start there, Matt. What were your thoughts on Whitlock?
Yeah, they found his limit, and they found his limit at the worst time of the year. And, the biggest change that happened with Garrett Whitlock this year, Joe, is, the Red Sox thought they were going to use him in kind of a multi-inning role at the beginning of the year, and he actually struggled in that. And I think we forget about that because Whitlock has been, so good for this team this year. And he got so good because they moved him into a traditional 1-inning role, and he just dominated. He became essentially the best 8th-inning man in baseball. The Red Sox tonight asked 2 innings out of him, which to me is not an unfair ask. Like, in the end, the Red Sox, perhaps their greatest strength outside of Garrett Crochet, is the back end of that bullpen. Alex Cora asked for more from Aroldis Chapman last night than he had asked all year, which is a 4-out save. He ultimately got it. It was a little bit shaky, but he got it. And he asked for 2 innings from Whitlock tonight on a night where they desperately needed 2 innings because they were running out of bullpen arms, and they couldn't get it. So, what happened with Whitlock is they eventually found his wall, and his wall happened in the middle of that 8th inning because it started out strong, and he just couldn't finish it. And, you can question Cora all you want. In the end, I don't have a problem with him being so aggressive with one of his best pitchers. In the end, that best pitcher just turns out wasn't capable of that in that moment.
Did you have a problem with the lineup tonight? Going back to it last night, I had my issues, but they told me, right? Any issues with the lineup and the way Cora handled going back with the same group?
Yes, and it's going to be controversial, but I said this last night, Joe. Joe, what did I say? Who did I say should be out of the lineup tonight in this game?
Jarren Duran, and who made a bad play?
Jarren Duran helped cost the Red Sox this game. I mean, because Slayton should have been out of the inning in the 5th. That is it's a flare, but Duran has to make the play on that. He doesn't. I don't know if he loses focus on that ball. I don't know what the hell happens there. He's not a good outfielder. We know he's not a good outfielder. He can't hit lefties. Simply put, the guy can't hit lefties. He did have one knock off of Rodon tonight. It did not matter. Joe, I said it last night. Yoshida in at DH. You put Refsnyder in the outfield, Duran out. Ultimately, Duran cost them in the field tonight, which is something you could have seen coming all year long because the guy can't field. So, yes, that is the number one second guess of Alex Cora pregame tonight. Duran should not have been in the lineup. He's an important guy for them. I know he's a beloved guy for them. But in the end, he has not played like an everyday player this year. He bats .211 against lefties. He's got a .600 OPS against lefties, and he's not a good defender. That's a platoon player. It's time to start treating him that way. They didn't, and that helped cost them this game tonight.
The Duran thing, I think, should be talked about a little bit more. That catch in the outfield, you know how in football we talk about sometimes receivers jump for the ball when they just need to just secure it. What the hell was he doing there? Was he like trying to make a flashy play? Did he think he needed to dive forward on that? Like, I know he's not a good outfielder is probably the answer, but what do you think he was thinking on that?
So he didn't track the ball. I think he actually got to the ball faster than he thought he was going to get to it, because I can say that, watching it live in real time, I thought that ball was not as easily catchable until it actually clanged off his glove. You're like, wait a minute, he was that on it? The fact of the matter is, Joe, he never really had a beat on it. I guarantee you, if you watch the replay, he probably didn't get a great jump because fundamentally he's not a good outfielder. So yeah, he tried to go into a slide when he didn't need to go into a slide. That should be a relatively easy running catch. And the reason he did that is because he didn't track it well, because he never tracks fly balls well. Duran can make up for stuff sometimes with his speed. He probably made up for a bad jump with his speed, but he didn't realize how close he was to it. And ultimately, made, an error. I mean, I think they ruled it a hit. It should be an error. That's undeniably an error. He made the error that helped cost the Red Sox this game tonight. And to me, that's unacceptable, and it was predictable. You could have seen it coming. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so on this one. At least, I'm not right too often, Joe. I was dead right about this one. He should not have been in that lineup tonight. He should not have been playing left field. If Rob Refsnyder or Nate Eaton is playing left field, the Red Sox might actually win this game.
All right. I want to take some calls, but I got to ask you about Nate Eaton. I got his name right.
Yep.
Been calling him Nick. Maybe I should, but I've said this to Lifshatz, so I'll let you get a belly laugh out of this one, too. I should like a guy named Eaton, right? I should like a man that's last name is Eaton. But I've had 2 moments this year now where I have to ask out loud, what are you doing? So the first one, obviously, was the tag-up play that never happened. Tonight, the ball that went to first, the first base coach was literally telling him to score. We don't have the audio in here, Matt, so maybe you could give us the watching live with audio version of it, but I thought it was costly, and it's him again that pisses me off.
So I can't tell you what the ESPN broadcast said about it because I was too busy yelling at my TV, and not yelling at Nate Eaton, but yelling at Kyle Hudson. That's on the third base coach. All right, so Eaton is off. It's a 3-2 pitch. He needs to be rounding third hard. Hudson holds him up. So Eaton, who does not have the play in front of him, is trusting his third base coach. Joe, Kyle Hudson, once again, has screwed over the Red Sox. We had the Baltimore game earlier this year. He had that mess in Tampa where he consistently screwed them in that game. Actually grabbed Bregman at one point. A third base coach grabbing his player. Bregman should have been called out had the umpire noticed it, because the third base coach doesn't even know the rules, doesn't even know he cannot physically aid a player and hold him up. Kyle Hudson has to be the worst third base coach in baseball. He has had a number of moments this year. Joe, if I know who the third base coach is and you know who the third base coach is, that's a problem. That's a big time problem. That play's not on Eaton. It's not in front of him. That play is on Kyle Hudson, who needs to have his runner halfway down the line, because there are 2 freaking outs, Joe. There are 2 outs. fundamental baseball. The third base coach has consistently proven this year that he does not understand fundamental baseball or cannot understand fundamental baseball quickly in the moment, in a pressure moment. Kyle Hudson cost the Red Sox in that situation. That seventh inning was a disaster, and it was the moment where I said this team's going to lose this game, because you cannot miss out on opportunities like that inning. 2 on, nobody out, the bunt. Ultimately what should go down as an error that leads to the go-ahead run in that spot, it does not, because the third base coach has his head so far up his ass that he doesn't know, his ass from his head or the sky from the ground or whatever it is. You can't do that, and the Red Sox did that and helped cost them this game tonight.
My issue is it's eaten twice now in big games or important games, right? Like, I agree with you. It's on the third base coach. And by the way, there's 2 outs, Matt. Like when you this, I learned this in T-ball at Parkway Little League. When there's 2 outs, you run on anything, right? You run.
Yep.
And the way that I was taught was you round third, and essentially like you're waived unless it's stop. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Which is exactly what the third base coach did, Joe. Again, Eaton does not know, so he sees his third base coach do that. Stop. So Eaton probably thinks there's something happening. There's a throw coming back to third. I need to get back to the bag. No, Kyle Hudson just lost his damn mind. That's what happened. He didn't know what the hell was going on. So the play's not on Eaton. It's on the third base coach, whose job is to watch the play. Eaton's job is to run. The third base coach job is to tell him whether he keeps running or stops. He told him to stop. It cost them the game.
And I just want to back up the first base coach, because he was waving to the third base coach, go. Like it was weird. And I know Eaton can't look at the first base coach. I understand it's the middle of an intense situation, right? It cost him. It cost him, dude, because if they went up there, it's still the insurance run. Mm-hmm. And I know in hindsight, we're looking at it as, hey, it still could be a tie game, but that's the difference in also making a decision about keeping Whitlock out there, right? Or going to somebody else. There was a lot on the line there. And again, base running errors. If the Red Sox are going to lose this year, those are the things that have gotten them. Oh, it got them tonight.
Real quick, Joe, you are so right about the Whitlock-Chapman decision in the 8th inning. If you're leading that game, when Whitlock walks Chisholm, that opens up the possibility of Cora going to Chapman for 4 outs again. Cora did not want to go to Chapman in the 8th inning because he threw 24 pitches last night, and he knows he might need him tomorrow night, which is why Tolley comes in instead of Chapman when they're down. So if you're ahead in that game, it allows Cora to manage more aggressively. Cora had to manage a little bit more defensively in that 8th inning because of the way the 7th inning went for the Red Sox, like plain and simple.
Yeah, I'm sure there's so many people that have a different thought on that play at third. I agree with you, Matt. I think you're taught to go home. And if you get the stop, you got to think about going back to the bag, right? In case there's a play or something. But it was a fail. And here we are reacting to it on 98.5 The Sports. Why don't we take a couple of calls, Matt? The phone number is 617-779-0985. We got Brent. He is in the car. Brent.
Hey, guys. Obviously, frustrating game tonight. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on like the fundamental baseball that the Red Sox kind of put by the wayside today. I feel like obviously, you guys touched on the base running. It was bad. I don't know who you guys put that on, but I felt like there was a couple of situations to play small ball tonight where, it was struggling hitters like Duran that maybe could have got a bunt down to get a guy in the scoring position, or Rafaela not being able to get that bunt down with guys on first and second. Like, you guys are putting that on Cora. Like, where are you guys heading with that? Because I feel like that's kind of been a major problem with them all year, even in situations in extra innings during the regular season with like a man on second base, no outs in extras, and they won't bunt them over. I felt like they choked away a couple of games this regular season because of that. Like, who do you guys put the small ball kind of faults on, and like, where do we go from here in terms of like, is that just like a Cora issue, or is that like analytics? Where do you guys kind of see that?
Thanks, Brent. We'll get in the Cora on the other side, Matt, but you got to get that bunt down if you're Rafaela. You cannot put the bunt in the air. And listen, Rafaela, he struggles, right? He actually had another walk tonight and he had a huge one last night. But this is he played in the Little League World Series. He played Little League baseball. I think he knows how to drop down a bunt. Tonight it looked like he never could do it. But the worst thing you can do is pop one up. And the first one was a disaster too. In a way, I almost wish Cora kind of called it off after. I'm not going to blame Cora for that. That's on the player.
No, this is Cora's biggest mistake tonight, Joe. It's the Rafaela bunt in the 7th inning. I'll disagree on that. And Joe, you know me. I love small ball. I love fundamental baseball. I like the old school National League style. Double switches and sacrifice bunts turn me on, baby. God, do I love them. But Rafaela is not the guy to put a bunt down. I wanted them to bunt with Duran in that inning. They didn't. It worked out because Rodon couldn't find the plate. But and I turned to the guys I was watching the game with tonight, and I said, this situation calls for a bunt, but you have the wrong hitter up to do it because Rafaela fundamentally is not a good bunter. There have been a number of times this year, including a game I was at, the Baltimore game where Marcelo Meyer made his MLB debut. There was a sacrifice bunt spot for Rafaela. Rafaela went up and tried to bunt for a base hit, which tells me that's the telltale sign. If a guy's trying to bunt for a base hit in a sacrifice bunt spot, it means fundamentally he does not understand how to bunt. So I kept that one in my head all year long. There were a couple of other times where I watched Rafaela try to get a bunt down this year, and I questioned to myself, I don't know if he can do this. And it was apparent after that first bunt attempt that he could not do it. Cora should have taken it off right there. 0-1 count, you have to take the bunt off. He tried to bunt a split finger fastball outside of the strike zone, and he was obviously trying to bunt for a base hit because it did not look at all like he knew how to lay down a sacrifice. Cora had to take it off right there. That's watching the game. He got stuck in we need a bunt, but he didn't pay attention to the hitter at the plate and what the hitter tried to do on the first attempt. The bunt had to come off there. That is Cora's biggest mistake in the series, no doubt about it. 0-1 bunt has to come off.
All right, good stuff here from Matt. Two sides on that one. I think the players got to get it down, but I agree with you to the fact of they probably should have called it off after the first one looked really bad. So I'm with you on that one. A lot to get into: bunts, base running, Bayo. There's a lot to get into, and Matt McCarthy's with us. We're going till 11 o'clock tonight. Skaz is back there as well. We got our intern Mark answering the phones, doing an excellent job, cutting up some video. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub. Matt McCarthy's here. What's the vibe check right now, Matt? What's your vibe check?
Bad. Really bad.
Bad
I'm
vibes.
unhappy. You want me to say anything else? You want me to say how really depressed I am?
Not yet.
You want me to get really dark with you, Joe? We got like an hour and a half to go.
We have 93 more minutes.
I'm going to end up in some bad places tonight, Joe, and I'm going to need you to carry me out of it, okay?
Yes, but listen.
Will you be my friend?
I will. Of course I will. We'll eat some ice cream. How do you like that? Cookie dough?
I don't even want that at this point.
Maybe we'll get some waffle cones with some whipped cream.
I can't decide if I'm sad or mad, Joe. I'm both.
I'm disappointed.
It's very parental of you. Like, I'm not sad, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, and we'll get to the calls in a minute here, but I was kind of mentioning this off the air, but the things that the Red Sox weren't good at this year: fielding, bunting, and base running. That was their three biggest issues, and it all was on display tonight. And it's disappointing because they're better than that. And, we can go back and forth. There's no really, if you think Cora shouldn't have called the bunt there, you're probably right. Me, I think the guy should have got it down. But if he does get it down, I don't know what happens after that. But also, isn't Raffaella one of these guys that he doesn't really work counts, right? So is it almost worth him swinging away there instead of like a forced out? I don't know how to feel about it, but the bad catch by Duran, the bad bunt, and then the base running with it's the base coach. Like, those are the three things I look at.
Yeah, so Joe, you're not wrong to say get the bunt down, because in the end, the situation does call for the bunt. It's a tie game. You have two fast runners on. There's nobody out. Cora called for the bunt earlier on in the game, down 2 with Sogard, and then the Yankees screwed it up. I mean, that was totally the right call. That was the right situation. Situationally, I guess I don't have too much of an issue with calling for the bunt in, an empty count. But when Raffaella, who I had concerns about going up into that at bat as not a great bunter, because you might think he might be a good bunter, because I think we have this idea that in the end, not great hitters or good bunters. Raffaella fundamentally is a bad bunter. And, I've seen this multiple times this year, so I was worried about it to begin with. But the key there is once he shows you on the first pitch by chasing out of the zone, a splitter out of the zone, trying to bunt it and trying to kind of like push it down the first base line instead of just deadening it in front of the mound and moving the fast runners over, right there and then you have to say, I know the situation calls for it, but this kid at the plate is going to be better off at trying to put his bat on the ball, and everybody can run, so a double play isn't as likely a scenario. Like, eventually you have to say, the player at the plate is not as capable of executing this situation as I want, and we need to adjust. And Cora stuck with what, honestly, baseball says you should do, which is bunt in that spot, and he ignored the hitter at the plate, and it cost them big time.
All right, we'll do 10 full minutes of calls right here, Matt. So let's dig into it. Tom is in Nashua. Tom.
Nothing has driven me more than the Red Sox with the slow starts. It's driving me nuts. Not even just this week, but just overall, like, oh, here we go. The Tigers last Friday, or the Yankees last night, or tonight. We need to get ahead of it. It's driving me absolutely nuts. And then tonight, oh my gosh, Kyle Hudson. We're not sending anybody home from third base. What are we doing? Like, I love this team, man, but like the slow starts and like the stupidest mistakes. This team is still stupid at the end of the day. They're still stupid.
Yes, I agree, Tom. I agree. This is what immaturity has, right? Eaton's not really I'm going to call him a 4A player. Raffaella is, a great defensive player and at times does struggle at the plate. And Duran, as you said, Matt, probably shouldn't have been in the lineup.
Yeah, so, the caller says slow starts, and yes, it's an issue, but I would say realistically, what are you going to expect? Joe, they can't hit. Like, they are, it is smoke and mirrors, right? I mean, look at last night. It's smoke and mirrors. I mean, Sogard, turns a single into a double with some help from Aaron Judge, but that's the way it is. And then, Yoshida gets a base hit because the Yankees aren't in double play depth because Sogard's on second and not first. Like, they have to do the little things right because they don't have Rafael Devers. They don't have Roman Anthony. So, if you're expecting this team to get off to a fast start, that's just, to me, it's unrealistic, which is why you see the difference between last night and tonight. Last night, the Red Sox did pretty much every little thing right. And tonight, they did the little things wrong. And that was the difference. It's That's why they lost the game, plain and simple, because they don't have the talent to make up for it. In a short series, the talent doesn't matter as much because you've got an ace in game one and you can try and bullpen it and play matchups and do the little things in game two. The problem is you couldn't do the little things in game two and the back end of your bullpen cracked at the worst time.
Let's talk to our buddy Don in Carver. Hey, Don.
Hi, I just wanted to call and say I'm 100% behind Matt. That third base, the rounding third base by Eaton, he should have been home. He should have been sent home. There's no excuse for that. And it was unquestionably the turning point, and they are having a chance to win that game. I'm also a little ticked at the very end, the ninth inning, that the tip of the strike zone hit on that call third strike on Jared Duran. But for them, with all the mistakes they made, and they made plenty, if Eaton could have come in and scored and that third base coach just could have canned it, then they could still be playing, even with all the mistakes they made. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks. His vibe is very, very low. Matt Carver guy. He's very upset.
I don't want to hear that. Look at what they did to my boy Don and Carver. Look how they massacred my boy Joe. I mean, but they did because they couldn't do the little things tonight.
Yeah. I want to get into Brian Bayo coming up in just a little bit, but we got Lee. He's in Rhode Island. Hey, Lee.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? I just think, when you play dog crap baseball like they were able to play today, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And now the happiness of my entire winter relies on a rookie named Connolly Early. That's the vibe check that I got. It's not good, and I don't know if we're going to pull through tomorrow. Thanks.
I'm not ready for tomorrow yet. We'll do that in the 10 o'clock hour. But who's got the advantage right now, Matt?
Yankees, because the Red Sox bullpen is spent after tonight. The same way that the Red Sox had the advantage coming into this game tonight because they had a fresh bullpen. That's the thing about a short series, and it's the reason why Cora was hesitant to go to Chapman in the eighth inning, because he doesn't want to burn him, knowing this game's starting to slip away a little bit, and I can't rely on Chapman 3 days in a row. I wonder what Whitlock's going to look like tomorrow night after throwing nearly 50 pitches. I mean, you're going to need him again. I mean, this is an all-hands-on-deck kind of day.
He's done.
Joe, he's not going to go multiple innings tomorrow, but I'm going to tell you right now, with their lack of right-handed pitchers in that bullpen tomorrow night, they are going to need Garrett Whitlock at some point. They are. How fresh he's going to be, I don't know, but do you want to go to Weissert instead? We might be talking about Brian Bayo pitching in relief tomorrow. I don't think that's totally out of the question. They are that short at this point, Joe. So I know we'll talk about tomorrow in a little bit, but you're right. The vibe check is not good because it all depends on the health of your bullpen in these types of series. And the Red Sox bullpen is spent right now, so advantage Yankees tomorrow. It's simple as that.
Dominic is in North Andover. Hey, Dom.
What's up, guys? The vibe check is disappointing, and we need starting pitching, which brings me to my main point, is that we weren't able to get rid of Duran for Joe Ryan. My comparison, I'm going to cross sports. My comparison is that he is the Red Sox Marcus Smart. Everyone overrates him because, he tries hard and runs fast, and he can get a flashy single into a double, and everyone's like, oh my God, Jaron Duran. But he stinks. He's a platoon guy. He's an MLB player, but he's not like your main guy who you hold on to when you can get pitching for him.
Yeah, Dominic, years ago, Trout Nixon was in this spot. He was a guy that really struggled against lefties, but when he crushed righties, and he was the dirt dog, right? And everybody loved him, but he at least accepted the role. Like Trot accepted it. I almost feel like they're worried about losing Duran if they happen to bench him in a situation like this.
Yeah, Joe, I think you're totally spot on about that because, the numbers and, frankly, the feel from last night's game would suggest that Jaron Duran should not have been in the lineup tonight. And again, I was pounding the table last night saying this is a decision that Cora has to make, but it is a tough decision because he is an important guy on the team. They are afraid about losing him, understandably so. But I would say this, the at bat last night where he swings on a 3-2 breaking ball up and out of the zone, it never was a strike, never was going to be a strike, tells you everything about kind of where he is, in regards to his, and I can't find a better term than this, but engagement and focus. And I'm not saying he's disengaged, but it suggests to me that the moment's a little bit too much. He's a little bit, on edge, jittery, whatever that term is. And that's the same way he fielded that ball. In the end, he got there, and it should have been a can of corn. And it wasn't, because maybe the moment was just a little bit too much for him, or maybe he's not, in the best place from a baseball perspective. There was a sign of that last night, and I think Cora ignored the sign. He ignored the numbers, certainly against Rodon and against lefties. He ignored the fact that Duran has been pretty much a terrible outfielder this year and has been a terrible outfielder for the majority of his major league career. And it cost them and it burnt them tonight. But you are totally right, Joe. They're afraid to bench him because they're afraid they might lose him. They're afraid they might not get him tomorrow night when, if there's a righty going, and there should be for the Yankees, then that's a good matchup for Duran and you want him in that spot. But they're worried that they're not going to get the most out of him tonight if they benched him, or tomorrow if they benched him tonight. And instead it backfired and it cost the team the game. And now you might not get the most out of him tomorrow either way.
We got Matt in Middleborough. Matt.
Yeah, not to tack on to the base running issue, but it was 3-2, 2 outs. He should have been running with the pitch and rounding third before he even fielded the ground ball.
Yeah, a guy like me, Matt, I'm not, let's just use ourselves, Matt, as let's just pretend we are professional athletes. If I was on second base, I'm not staring at the third base coach. I'm going straight home, but that's because I'm just doing what I'm told. But, in this case, I don't know. I've watched the play a couple of times. I don't think Eaton turned the bag like he was determined to score if there was some sort of mistake.
Agreed. I don't think Eaton ran as hard as he could have from second base. That being said, I still think the biggest issue, Joe, is Hudson holding him up. Again, your job as the base runner is, as you round third, you pick up the third base coach, and the third base coach told him to stop. That is on Kyle Hudson. You're not wrong in criticizing Eaton. He should have been, charging, towards home at that point. His instant thought, the second the ball is hit, no matter where it's hit, is I'm scoring. There are 2 outs. He obviously didn't have that thought in his head as much as he should have. And then the third base coach put him in a terrible spot and screwed him, because the third base coach has been terrible for months now. And you hate to see something like that cost the Red Sox, and it helped cost them tonight.
Not to, because it's not fair to Duran, but if Duran was on second in that play, he's taking the turn going home. Like, he's not looking at the third base coach. Like, I'm just using like other guys like Narvaez would, right? There's certain guys that would. And listen, Eaton's been a nice little player. He's a nice little piece. But I think you mentioned talent earlier. I just think somebody else that has the talent is the awareness would know that on that play, it's 2 outs, run on anything. Here's the deal. If there was some sort of holdup and he's already halfway down, let's say they make the throw to third, he can still go to first. They're not going to make he can still go home. I don't think they can make that throw. And if they make the throw to home, I don't know. I wonder if he could beat it back. There's a lot there to unpack, and in the end, it does fall on the third base coach.
Yeah, but Joe, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, Eaton has to be, his mindset has to be crack of the bat, I'm scoring. And I don't know if he ran specifically, like that, just watching the replay. Like, I don't know if that was his going through his head right away. I mean, he did round the bag, and he picked up the third base coach and he stopped him. So are you right that maybe Jarren Duran is running so hard he runs through the stop sign? Yeah, Joe, you might be totally right about that. I don't rule that out. Like, your instinct as a baseball player takes over. You learned it in Parkway Little League, Joe. Humble brag here. I was the smartest player in Carver Little League in 2001. Doesn't mean I was the best player. I'm rounding third in that spot.
Yeah.
Now, I was so slow that I'm probably getting thrown out anyway. But you know what? That's neither here nor there.
You're probably safe.
Right, because
it was it might have been what's the word? Erratic. It might have been a little bit of a loose cannon, but it's also you're determined to score because that's the you're out there to score. Like Eaton's out there because of his speed, right? Like he's there for that. I can't harp on this all night long. It's just it's disappointing.
The mindset wasn't score, Joe.
It wasn't.
Plain and simple.
It wasn't. The mind. This is where I think it comes down to talent. Like if it's David Hamilton, I'm wondering if he blows off the sign. Like this is why I think. I know we're really digging into this thing, and to me, it is the third base coach because that player needs to rely on that coach. Mm-hmm. That player does. And in the end, I think it falls on him. We'll get into more of this.
Failed.
Yes. All right. Well, we got to get a headline. We've already talked about fielding, bunting, and base running. The lineup I have questions about, and your thoughts on Brian Bayo. We'll do all that coming up next. Matt McCarthy's here. I'm Joe Murray. Let's get your headline on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Matt McCarthy's with us tonight. I'm getting people texting me saying, get him, Matt. Get Jarren Duran. I think he's frustrated, people. Clearly, you see the talent, his ability. What did we call him last night? An electric factory?
He can be when he's right, but ask yourself this. Do you count on him to be right in the moment? And this has been the question about Duran forever, Joe. And I have been, unfortunately, on this side of it. Unfortunately, it seems like this side of things is right. Hopefully he proves us wrong tomorrow, but no doubt he helped cost them this game tonight.
No doubt about it. You know who else I think cost them? It's Brian Bale. In a way, we criticized Boone last night for going away from his starter, right? Pulling Bale in the third was Aaron Boone-esque, I thought. I know he gave up the home run. He probably didn't have it. I'll admit that. The spot of where he threw the home run to Rice is my problem. You know, like you can't throw it over the middle of the plate like that, like into the inside, like down. How many balls did you see get hit down that line tonight? By the way, so that's what I'm trying to say is like to leave a ball there. That's on them. Like that was that was on Bayo. So I was disappointed in Bayo because he's been so good, but. I was sharing some ERA stats earlier in the day on Twitter, and, you know, I've noticed he had some really good – when it was hot, he was good. And in September, his ERA was 5.40, and, well, it didn't get any better tonight. And when they took him out, he got bailed out, leaving runners on base. So I was very disappointed in Bayo, and I hate to say could they be using him for tomorrow, but I hate to say that, but, like, I don't think he had it at all tonight.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'd trust him in that spot, Joe, but – do you trust Greg Weissert? Do you trust Zach Kelly, who somehow, some way got Volpe in a big at bat tonight after falling behind 3-0? You know, we've talked about this for a while. You know, the folks who really live and die by every Red Sox game. They don't have enough righties. And Bayo only threw 28 pitches today, which is crazy. It's not absurd to think he might be available tomorrow, but do you trust him in that spot? Like, those are two different things. And Bayo, I think, once again showed you tonight, Joe, that he isn't necessarily worthy of that trust. The stuff is good. The stuff is tantalizing. He's a sinker baller, so he's not going to strike out as many people as you want, but the stuff is undeniably good, and there's a lot of movement on it, and he didn't have it tonight. And Cora recognized that. So, the question coming out of this game, Joe, is was Cora too aggressive? Because it's going to burn them tomorrow. They're in a bad spot going into this thing tomorrow. In the end, I felt good about the decision to pull Bayo in that spot. It's like you have to go for it. This team is short. Being totally honest, Joe, they don't even have a real starting pitcher for tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be a bullpen game. Early might be your bulk guy, but I wouldn't even be surprised if he didn't actually technically start the game. So, Cora knew his best chance to win the series is tonight, and he managed the game as such. He recognized Bayo didn't have it, and he went away from Bayo before the game got out of hand, and it did work leading up until Whitlock in the 8th inning. And, ultimately they were an arm short in the bullpen because it turns out Whitlock is not a 2-inning guy. He's a 1-inning guy. And unfortunately we got that answer tonight. So maybe this is something that you put on Craig Breslow for not adding a real legitimate righty in the bullpen. I know we're going to have a lot of discussions about not adding to the starting rotation and not getting Joe Ryan and not getting the Jarren Duran for Joe Ryan deal done. Yes, of course, that's a conversation tonight, but don't overlook the fact that it turns out for this type of game, they were one or maybe even a half arm short because Whitlock hit his wall halfway through the 8th inning. And if Bayo could have given them one more inning, does the game end up differently? I'm not going to crush Cora for pulling Bayo because it worked out in the middle innings. They got burnt in the late innings, and it is what it is. But I'm sure many people will, but I will defend Cora on that one tonight, Joe. I will.
All right, let's go to you guys. 617-779-0985. I'm watching Mookie Betts just, punch a nice little bloop over the second baseman's head to score an RBI, and it's a thing of beauty.
They got a good return for him, just like Rafael Devers, Joe. It definitely didn't show up tonight at all that you got nothing for those two players.
Speaking of that, I asked Gaz this before the show tonight. Narvaez or Wong with Bayo?
So I'm perfectly fine with going with Narvaez. I think Narvaez his at-bats have been excellent in this series. He might not have everything to show for it, but he has turned in some of the most competitive at-bats against these Yankees starters and have run up the pitch count and have gotten the Red Sox into that Yankee bullpen, which is where you want to be. So I don't have any problem with going with Narvaez, especially given that the leash was obviously short on Bayo anyway. So I think Cora got that one right.
All right, let's go to the phones here. Who's been on the longest? Mike in Texas. Mike.
Hey, I know there's no good answer. You just touched on it. But, I mean, to me, watching on television, it was so obvious that Whitlock was gassed midway through the eighth. I know you can't go to Tolley. You'd get savaged. But, good God, if I can tell he's gassed, why can't his manager?
Good point.
Joe, I think Cora probably knew he was gassed. But having managed so aggressively up until that point and not wanting, feeling like it'd be a bad spot to put Chapman in that game after getting 4 outs last night, it's one of those things where this guy is gassed, but he's one of my 2 horses at the back end of that bullpen, and I've just got to trust him. I've just got to dance with him. Like, you dance with the one you brought, right? And in the end, I said this last night about Aroldis Chapman, like, you need 4 outs from him because you don't want, to introduce left-handed hitters at Yankee Stadium, as we saw tonight. You dance with the one that you brought. The same situation applies to Garrett Whitlock tonight. Like, that has been the strength of this team outside of Garrett Crochet is Whitlock and Chapman, and they have been 1-inning relievers all this year. And eventually, it's like in the playoffs, they're going to have to get 3 innings from those guys combined. Tonight, they needed 2 from Whitlock, and he just hit his wall, which sucks, but it just tells you what you need to know about the bullpen entering next year. It's like you can't count on Garrett Whitlock to give you 2 full innings in a big spot because he's truly, at this point in his career, way more effective in a 1-inning role. This is not 2021. He proved that earlier this year, and he proved it again tonight.
We have Cha-Cha in Framingham. Hello.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I think we talked a lot about the Eaton and the play at third, and that's a bang play. I mean, he shouldn't even be in that game. He's not really a major leaguer. It's a tough spot for him. The catch, the non-catch from Duran is just inexcusable. I mean, it's right in his glove. Like, how are you not going to catch that ball? And that would have kept them. They would have had the lead. They would have been playing with the lead. It's just inexcusable not to come up with that ball. Like, the guy's had a good season. You hate to harp on it, but it's like the whole season hinges on that catch, and he doesn't make it. The one positive thing I will say, though, how about Yoshida? I mean, this guy's got ice in his veins. I don't know what it is about the Japanese guys, but they come up in those big situations, and there's a monster hit. I mean, should have been up the middle. Chaz makes a nice play on it. They should have got the run.
Okay, thank you.
He didn't get a hit. Plain and simple.
Yeah, the scorers I didn't like tonight either. That Duran play that we keep talking about was a hit. Error.
Home cooking there, Joe. But hey, congratulations to Aaron Judge. Precious little Aaron Judge on his RBI single. Congrats, bud.
So good. So good. So good. Pete's in Western Mass. Pete.
Yo. So a lot of the things that happened that could have changed that game were like in the moment. Like Eaton could have turned the corner and gone home. Duran could have made the catch. But like asking Rafaela to bunt, like that was planned. And I was like, why would you ask someone to bunt that never fucking bunts?
Dummy up, man. You can't swear, dude.
Boo.
Come on, man.
I don't disagree, but boo.
I don't mean to laugh about it.
I wanted to say it too, Joe. And frankly, Skaz, watch the button in the next hour, because I might.
I've had to drop McCarthy before. I'll do it again if I have to.
So
you better watch it tomorrow night, Skaz, when I'm in for Joe doing postgame after Game 3 in studio, in the moment, season coming down to that. Joe, I'm not going to be in a good place tomorrow night. I'm just going to tell you right now, like, watch out for me, Skaz.
It was funny. I said that to Skaz. So, scheduling note, they're moving me to the morning show on Friday. So, tomorrow night, Matt McCarthy this lined up for you pretty well, Matt. You're going to be here the night that the Red Sox and Yankees will play Game 3 winner take all.
Joe, you say it lines up for me well now. Talk to me in 24 hours.
I will. Maybe
okay?
I will.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning the next day, which is why I'm not here, just so everybody knows. So, yes, Matt McCarthy will be here. Marathon Matt will be here.
So, in all seriousness, Skaz, Red Sox currently scheduled for 6 o'clock. If the Dodgers win tonight, does that game get moved back? I think it might.
That is a good question.
Here's the deal. I vow to you this. If the Red Sox play later in the night, I don't care what the bosses say. I don't care what anybody says. I don't even care if I don't get paid. I'm staying on the air so long as you need me to stay on the air, win or lose after that game.
Well, good thing you know how to run a board, Matt. Skaz got no chuckle out of that.
No, I was doing research. I am reading here. A very quick Google search says the game time remains the same regardless of other playoff outcomes. As of right. Yeah, I would say that's what it says. Who knows if that's true, but 6:08 tomorrow looks like it is locked in.
All right.
It's kind of dumb, but that's baseball for you. That should be a little later in the night, prime time.
Just like how the Red Sox lost tonight. Kind of dumb. All right, this hour of the sports has been brought to you by Valvoline. It's an oil change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. You can save 15% off your next draft or oil change at Valvoline. It's an oil change, the official oil change of busy people. We got another hour to go. What's up with Game 3? And we have loaded phone lines. Bayo, third base coach, top of the 7th. Red Sox pinch hitters. Red Sox again. They're loaded. And we're here till 11 o'clock. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Dodger series is over tonight. Detroit and Cleveland moved to 3 o'clock. San Diego and the Cubs moved to 5, and then the Red Sox and Yankees moved to 8 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. So, however this game ends tonight, if Cincinnati wins, whatever, but it could move to 8 o'clock, Matt, which then you would be here all night long.
Doesn't matter to me, Joe. I'll be there whether it's at 6 or at 8, and we'll talk about how it all goes down. Nothing like having your season come down to a guy who half of us had never even heard of a month ago. So that's baseball, Susan.
Well, Connolly Early will be the first pitcher ever to start a winner-take-all postseason game within 30 days of his Major League Baseball debut.
Yeah, and he does it in Yankee Stadium, too. I mean, it's not the old Yankee Stadium, but work with me on that. Yeah, it's not a good spot at all. He's a lefty, which is good. He has pitched with poise outside of the first inning in Tampa a few weeks ago when the runner really got in his head. Obviously, I think most of us have liked what we've seen from Connolly Early, but make no mistake about it, Joe. This is a bullpen game for the Red Sox. I'm actually somewhat surprised they're actually not going with an opener and then having Early be the bulk guy. But, you know, in the end, does it really matter whether it's Weissert facing Judge in the first inning or Weissert facing Judge in the fourth? Because that's probably what it comes down to.
What do you like? Do you like the strategy of lefty, lefty, lefty? Because to me, I feel like it would be Early and then maybe Harrison to keep that lefty going, and maybe they put Matz out or somebody else. But they love to throw those lefties at the Yankees.
Yeah, so I thought actually they were going to open with somebody like Weissert to face Judge in the first inning. Then Early doesn't face Judge. You go, 2 innings through, you see where you're at before Early facing Judge again. I probably would have gone with a little something like that. That being said, I'm not going to crush Cora for just flat out starting the kid because, what choice do you have, right? I mean, in the end, like, you're doing the best you can with a not so good situation, and it's not like Connolly Early is. Let's be honest, Joe. He's not going out there and he's not tossing 7 innings tomorrow. If he does, it'll be one of the greatest stories I've ever seen, and that's awesome. But he's going to pitch 1 time through the order, maybe 1.5. He's certainly not going 3 times through the order. Tomorrow is essentially a bullpen game, and they're hoping they get more length out of Early than they did out of Bayo tonight.
Would you go back to Bayo?
No, probably not. It would have to be really early in the game because I'll have Slayton face Judge, and I'll have Whitlock face Judge, and I'll have Chapman face Judge. So, however, that manages it. I mean, other than that, I'm getting probably 1 more at bat against Judge, and that's probably Early's because he's starting the game. So probably not. If the game goes to extras, I think I'd rather have Bayo out there than Kyle Harrison or Peyton Tolley, but that's where we're at. No, Bayo should be available tomorrow night. I mean, it's all hands on deck. He threw 28 pitches tonight, so he should be available. But tonight shook me a little bit on him, no doubt about it.
Cora, after the game on pulling Bayo, something Bayo was not told he was possible pregame. It was a tough lineup, a lot of lefties. The bats were getting better with the lefties, so this is where I'm going with the lefty stuff. They had a bunch of them. We had a bunch of them in the bullpen. Felt like at that point we kind of like what we had to do there. It doesn't feel good, because you want the kid to go out there and give his experience. Felt that moment we needed to. So they want to go lefties. They pulled the plug. They went to a lefty. That's the story. So we'll keep an eye on that one tomorrow. I wonder I hope Connolly Early can give them more than 2 innings. But I think it would be Harrison, but they do have veterans. They went to Wilson first tonight, so maybe they go back to him.
Yeah, so here's the thing. They have a ton of options out there when it comes to left-handed pitchers, whether it's Harrison Early starting the game. Wilson should be available. I mean, everybody's going to be available. Matz will be available. Maybe you try to extend him a little bit more, given he didn't pitch too much tonight. That is the key to this series, and that is what Cora was trying to do. I mean, Joe, to be totally honest, look at where the Red Sox have run into trouble in this series. It has been when the left-handed hitters for the Yankees have done damage, which they did tonight. I mean, it's Wells, right, who gets the hit off of Chapman that scores Chisholm from first tonight. It's Rice hitting the homer off of Bayo. It was the right-handed pitchers tonight for the Red Sox who were not good enough and ultimately did damage, to their efforts. It's not the number one reason they lost. The number one reason they lost is because Jarren Duran can't catch a fly ball. Alex Cora doesn't know that Cedon Rafaela can't bunt, and the third base coach is horrible at his job. Like, those are the three major reasons they won. But from a pitching staff reason, like, look at it this way. Their left-handed pitchers have been really good and really effective because it's Yankee Stadium. You need left-handed pitchers to keep lefties out of the box. You want to pitch to righties at Yankee Stadium, not lefties. So I fully anticipate Cora will empty the clip tomorrow, and the majority of pitchers you will see out of that bullpen will be left-handed. That is going to be the approach.
All right, you guys are lined up on the phone lines. Let's get to you. Let's start with Cam. He's in Tampa. What's up, Cam?
Hey, Joe, just got a quick question. Talking about the third base coach, what happened to the hitter in the seventh inning when Eaton did not round the base and stop because of the third base coach? Was there a chance for him to score from the hitter? I wasn't able to watch the game. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. We went over it earlier. I think our official answer is it's on the third base coach, but I do think that if Eaton had a little bit more of an awareness of the importance of the situation, he wouldn't have to rely on the third base coach. But in the end, this comes down to a base running issue that cost him big time.
Yep, exactly. As we talked about, Eaton did not have enough of a score mindset on, 2 outs, crack at the back, bat 3-2, you're running. But he picks up his base coach who let him down. No doubt about it. Hudson let them down.
Jordan is in Revere. Hello.
How's it going, guys?
How you doing?
Good. I mean, there's a bunch of plays that we're talking about tonight that it cost us the game. We can start off with Bayo pitching getting cold very early. He did let up a run, but let him run for a little bit. Fourth inning, I think he's good. Get us out of there. That's one play, whatever. And then it comes down to, Duran. We'll do that. Gets paid millions of dollars to make those plays all day. That's an easy catch. And then it comes to Eaton not rounding third base. That's another play that we're just like, what are we doing here? Third base coach is at fault there.
Yeah.
And then who was it? Grissom that got on again. Eaton, what are you doing in right field? You gotta anticipate where that ball is going to go off the wall. I think that's a huge play where you're missing out on. I don't know. There's a ton of stuff that we need to work on. I thought, Whitlock was pitching well, but we got Chappie that's going to strike these guys out at the end of the game. That's something we need to pull together.
Yeah, man.
And I think they wanted to save him for tomorrow, but it's a big game right there. We could have closed them out, but I don't know. I might be talking.
You are.
What do you guys think about that?
A lot of talking.
So with Whitlock, Joe, 47 pitches tonight. The last time he threw, you know what? Take a guess as to his highest number of pitches going back to June. Just take a guess.
Ooh, going back to June now.
Going back to June.
All right.
Which is when they made they tried to use him in a multi-inning role earlier this year, and it did not work out. They moved him to essentially a one-inning role in May and June, and he took off from there. Take a guess.
So I know this. I know that he has pitched over 40 pitches once or twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it came on April 6th against St. Louis, again, when they were using him in a multi-inning role, 46 pitches.
So I would say since then, 0.
Yeah, so 24. 24 was his previous high going back to June.
Wow.
And they tried to get 47 out.
How effective was he in those 20?
He was really effective. Essentially, if you want to look at it, through his first 24 tonight, he was great, and then he started to hit the wall. So this is the second guess of Cora, in many sense. Now, I'm going to defend Cora on this because I think in the playoffs, if you have two guys at the back end of your bullpen who are really good, the way the Red Sox do, you can't count on them for 2 innings. You need them for 3 innings. That's the way playoff baseball is played. And it turns out that the Red Sox could not get 3 innings out of those guys. Chapman did not look great in a 4-out thing yesterday. Cora was probably a little bit spooked by that, and he said, okay, I need 2 innings from Whitlock tonight to get to Chapman in the 9th. He tried to get 2 innings out of Whitlock, and Whitlock just couldn't do it. He hit his wall. They found his limit.
All right, let's talk to, longest order of wait tonight, everybody. Mathis in New Hampshire.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, no, I just think kind of Bayo's kind of skating tonight. I mean, he's one of 2 starters kind of that we have that's legit, and I get the whole lefties in the lineup and the short porch at Yankee Stadium, but you got to give us more than 2 1/3. I feel like it was shaky from the start. I feel like if he gave us maybe 3 1/3 even, that cuts down on what Whitlock had to deal with. I think the whole game looks different if Bayo pitched a little bit better. I don't care if it's 9 lefties. I feel like, you're 1 of 2 real starters that we have. You got to look a little bit better than he did. I'll listen to what you guys have to say.
All right. Anything there, Matt?
Yeah, I agree. Now, the question is, did Cora screw up by pulling Bayo after 2 1/3? I don't think he did, because I don't think that thing was going to get much better. So I do think, I don't put that on the manager. I put that on the pitcher. And, Brian Bayo's your number 2 starter, and you're down Lucas Giolito, and you're going to miss him tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. You're basically out of pitchers at this point, so you needed more from Brian Bayo. You didn't need what Garrett Crochet gave you last night, but you needed more than 2 1/3. I don't criticize Cora for pulling him, because I think it worked out in the middle innings. Yes, they had to extend Whitlock as a result, but I think you need the most. You need more from your best pitchers. So if I'm going to hold Whitlock accountable for not being able to get 2 innings in relief, I also, in fairness, need to hold Brian Bayo accountable for only giving 2 1/3 starting the freaking game. That's not good enough.
James Garamazzino has thoughts.
Yeah, obviously there's a ton of blame to go around. I think, Duran, Cora leaving Whitlock in too long, all that very big tonight. But a couple guys that I think do deserve to be mentioned too are, and I know this is what they did all year, but Rob Refschneider and Romy Gonzalez. And
thank you.
Raphael is another guy too, who've done absolutely nothing in these 2 games. And Refschneider and Romy have given you not even really competitive at bats, like not working counts, no hits. It's just, we all know the Red Sox lineup is flawed, but they have too many what feel like automatic outs right now. And I know Duran got, a hit today, but I have zero confidence with him at the plate. So Refschneider, Romy, Rafaela, Sogard tonight, Duran, there's just so many guys that go up to the plate and you feel like it's an out, like automatic out. And I know it got them to this point, but Rob Refschneider and Romy Gonzalez, I don't need to see them tomorrow night.
Yeah, and here's the deal. This is playoffs now, right? It worked last night. This is why I brought up the fact about doing it again. But do you know through 2 games, right? Yoshida, Abreu, and Lowe have 8 combined at-bats. Sogard, Eaton, and Refschneider have 16. To me, that sounds like an overload.
Yeah, Cora's playing the platoons, which is what he's done all year long. And Skaz, I'm so happy that you brought that up, because it's a small point on a night where, Jarren Duran cost the team the game, and the third base coach cost the team the game, and Cora manages so aggressively. Of course, we're going to focus on those things, and rightfully so. But we have not mentioned Refschneider or Gonzalez once. And you are right. Actually, I think you're being kind to them to say that they've given them almost nothing. They've been a net negative. I think Romy Gonzalez's at-bats in this series have been offensive. And Rob Refschneider is something slightly below offensive, not extremely offensive, just offensive. Those 2 guys who, we have heard all year long, they mash lefties, and Cora loves them. Oh, my God. If he could adopt Romy Gonzalez and Rob Refschneider, he would. And don't get me wrong, I like them too. Refschneider came up in a big spot tonight and let them down before Story drove in the 2 runs early in the game. But those guys have been terrible, beyond terrible. And you're not going to see them tomorrow night because there's a righty going for the Yankees. So the Red Sox are going to get their better lineup to start that game. And they're actually going to get Duran against a righty, which is important. So it's no small detail, though. And Skaz, I'm so glad you brought that up, because it's so true. And those guys have escaped too much blame over the course of the last 2 nights. They have been awful, beyond awful, putrid, offensive, whatever you want to say, disgusting. I'm disgusted.
All right, Nate Eaton has spoken regarding the play. We'll get into that coming up here on the other side. We'll continue to take your calls all night long. Matt McCarthy's here. I'm Joe Murray. You got Skaz, intern Mark. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe.
A lot of beef between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj for those that want something else to focus on tonight besides the bad base running, bad bunting, bad fielding, and the questionable calls by the manager and the questionable lineup that was out there tonight as well. So feel free to call in at 617-779-0985. How's it going, Matt? What's the vibe check?
Vibe's still not good, Joe. And the Cardi B news, whatever it may be, does not affect me either way. It does not make me happy nor sad because it would be impossible for me to feel anything but sadness, disappointment, and anger based on what I just experienced tonight. But good for her or bad for her. Congratulations, whatever that thing is. I'm sure at some point I'll get caught up on it. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Stephon Diggs might have been brought up in it.
That's a you know what, Joe? That's a story for Friday, Matt, when I'm in for you.
Yes, Friday, Matt. Friday, Matt. We'll get into that coming up. Lots of callers, lots to get into as well because we're not done. We're going till 11 o'clock tonight. Let's talk to Kevin in San Francisco. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Good, man.
I'll tell you what. I'm sorry, but that third base coach needs to be fired tonight. There are so many reasons why you need to send him on that. Let's forget for a moment that if you think that the manager is being overzealous in trying to close it out tonight. That was his strategy, and you have to be in line with that you are trying to win the game. It's a 3-2 count with one of the fastest guys in the American League, and you're worried about the guy catching the ball at first base and ending the inning. Even if he catches the ball and he's safe, he's going to look at the umpire to see if he was safe or out. He was never going to make that throw to home plate. The guy is a complete moron, absolute moron, and should be canned. Thanks, guys.
So, Matt, the more we talk about this, man, I already told you that I'm not. Again, we're not professional baseball players. But if I was on second, me personally, if I, Skaz had wheels back in the day. I'm telling you this right now. Me with no wheels, big guy could move though. My thought is that count. You're getting a jump and you're going. I'm not looking at that stupid third base coach. You kidding me? My mind would be I'm touching that bag and I'm shooting home. That's at least the way my mindset is. Maybe I need to watch the play a couple more times, but I don't know. Guys, I haven't heard your take on that one tonight.
Yeah, and we did this a little because I think Lifshatz was on when it originally happened, and you guys were on the same page, and I pushed back a little bit, and the only way I can push back is that and the runner has no way of knowing that the Jazz is going to kind of botch the throw and the first baseman's going to kind of, botch getting the throw. If that's a clean throw and handle, he's hosed at home. And you have Trevor Story coming to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So do I think he should have been sent? Probably yes, but I don't think it's as clear cut as some of the callers and some of the people in chat.
Well, hold on, those guys. Am I mistaken here? Weren't there 2 outs in that inning?
Yes, there were 2 outs.
Right.
So I'm saying he would have made the final out at home with Trevor Story coming to bat. That's my only thing. That maybe they wanted Trevor Story to ensure that Trevor Story got to come to the plate.
Yeah, at the time when it happened live, Skaz mentioned that he goes, hey, because their hottest hitter was at the plate. 2 outs, right? If you make that, I just, man, I'm thinking back on it, dude. Like it really was bad because you're getting the jump and then you're running on the hit, on the contact.
Yeah,
and with his speed, he should have already been touching third and going home.
So, believe it or not, guys, when I watched it live, my instant thought was, is Duran going to try? And Duran was the trail runner. It's like, is Duran going to try to do something and take home here? I was like, wait a minute, Eaton didn't score? Because, right, you're off 3-2, crack of the bat. You see, here's why it's the third base coach's fault, guys. The only way the play gets extended and the run is scoring is if something bad happens defensively for the Yankees, which it did. So Eaton needs to be halfway down the line by the time, he needs to be rounding third and charging for home by the time there is a play completed or not completed at first base. It's really that simple.
The third base coach means nothing in this situation to me. No, he should be the hell away from that guy.
So, Joe, yes, and that's the problem, because he puts his hand up. Yep. He says stop. Did Kyle Hudson drop the outs? Or did he have a moment where he just totally blanked? Because he's stopping him as if there's 1 out. You're right, Joe. Eaton was not running as hard around that bag. Like, it was not crack of the bat instinct, I'm scoring no matter what. But because he should, because he's running. He's breaking for third. The second he hears the crack of the bat, you're not supposed to look at the ball. You're supposed to say, home, home, home. I got to score, crack of the bat. I got to jump. I'm a fast guy. He picks up Hudson as he's trying to round third. And Hudson, being the complete moron that he is, throws his hands up. So Eaton instantly says, stop, what's going on behind me? You're right, he was not running as hard as he should have, breaking for third. I get that, but the number one issue here, Joe, is the third base coach either blanked, had a brain fart, or completely dropped the scenario. It doesn't matter which one, he effed up.
Dude, it's so funny. I've been looking for a replay all night, and there are replays. The problem is that, all right, I have a replay now. All right, so he got the jump. The ground ball happens. I'll share this in a minute. Gordo Sports has it. He steps on the bag. Okay, the third base coach is outside of the box. He's got like 1 foot on the edge of the box, and he's like in between where that postseason sign is on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Eaton can see him the whole way. Yeah, in my brain, I'm thinking that he doesn't see the third base coach. Nope, that third base coach is so close and visible. He told him to stop, dude. He did. Why the hell did he tell him to stop with 2 outs?
Because he's a terrible third base coach, Joe. And it's small moments, but remember there was the play against Baltimore, the 290-foot fly ball where he doesn't send him, the crowd boos him. In Tampa Bay, final week of the season, I don't know if this is a game that a lot of folks saw. Hudson had one of the worst sends you'll ever see. Like, a tip of the cap to the great send him in Wendell Kim. Like it was insane. And then in the very same game, he actually physically grabbed Bregman and tried to drag him back to the base, which is illegal. You can't do that. And the umpire didn't see it and didn't call the runner out. So this is not the first time where Kyle Hudson has completely lost his damn mind. And in the end, he's just not competent. And it cost them. It has cost them a number of times this year, and it cost them in Yankee Stadium with a chance to go to the ALDS. How do you swallow that as a Red Sox fan? How do you accept that as a Red Sox fan? That guy's an idiot.
I just shared it on Twitter at Joey Murr. So John Boy has a sky view look of it. And Nate Eaton, after the game, on holding up at third base, he said, obviously it was a big play. We didn't score. I obviously couldn't see it. As I'm getting the third, I'm told to stop. And then I couldn't see how far the ball was away when it got by Rice.
Joe, he totally threw Hudson under the bus with those comments, didn't he? Not that I necessarily blame him, because that's true. He's like, I couldn't see it, which is true. The play is not in front of him. The third base coach is in front of him. So he all but said, yeah, I would have scored, but my dumbass third base coach prevented me from scoring. He all but said that.
Dude, and it's so funny because, again, in my brain, I'm thinking you get the secondary lead, right? And then you're off. Like, you're not looking at some third base coach thinking he's going to stop you. This is where I guess I'm different. My mindset is get out of the way. Like, it's hard for me to, like, and again, I played baseball 20 years ago, right? So in my brain, secondary lead, sprint off the bag from third to home. And if it's the third out of the inning, at least you ran the base, and if something happened, you scored. Like, that's the way you play the game. It's the way you're taught. And it's so funny because when the ball gets away, he goes back to third instead of taking the, secondary lead to home to fourth. Here's what my take is this. I was told this my entire life. If you're rounding third and a ball gets by a first baseman, always challenge the first baseman, especially if he's a right-handed thrower. If it's the left-handed thrower, he has a better throw to the plate. You get what I'm saying? Where it's the right-handed side, he has to make the perfect throw on the third base side. So the way I was always taught was, you have to go in that case and challenge the first baseman's arm. And in this case, I mean, Goldschmidt, I know, has been a good player, but does he have an arm to throw out a speedster like Eaton?
Yeah, so I'm watching the play here again, Joe, and it's a great angle. So at Joey Murr on Twitter, I'm going to retweet this as well. This from John Boy, who obviously does great stuff. Joe, Eaton is already around third base before the play is made or not made at first base. Like, 50-50 chance. Let's say there is one out, and I'm starting to wonder if Kyle Hudson thought there was one out, and that's why he stopped them. 50-50 chance, like, Eaton might actually beat the throw if it's clean,
hey, Matt,
which, again, doesn't matter in the situation because there are 2 outs, you dumbass.
Yes, and we have a saying on this show, 50-50 yes! 50-50 yes, you go home! Blow that guy off! Literally, like, I'm actually kind of pissed right now about this. And this is why I'm leaning on Eaton here. It's the third base coach's fault. Done. Stamped. Done. And he threw him under the bus after the game. But you have to have the mindset. 50-50 play? Yes, you're going home. You have to assume there could be a play that happens. And it's on Eaton too, but he was listening to his coach, his dumbass third base coach.
So, Joe, you said earlier, if that's Jarren Duran running, does Duran, is he running harder? Is he more engaged in the play? Watch the play again. Go back and watch this play again. Duran's the trail runner. Now, Duran and Eaton are pretty close in regards to speed. You tell me, who do you think is running and is more engaged in the actual play? Jarren Duran or Nate Eaton? So, again, I put more of this is obviously on Kyle Hudson, but I think Eaton wasn't totally in the moment either. Duran, based on the way he's running, it's crack of the bat. He's instantly thinking third base, third base, third base because he's on first. He's instantly thinking, I need to advance 2 bases, which I'm not 100% convinced Eaton was doing. Now, he did round third before he was stopped, but like, I don't think he didn't have that. He didn't kick it into the extra gear that Duran kicked it into. Not that it should have mattered, because he might have been safe anyway, and he definitely would have been safe based on the bobble, but the third base coach lost his effing mind again.
Okay, I'm only bringing this up because do you remember when the Yankees had some really bad infield play?
Mm-hmm.
They went on a little like, they had 9 errors in 4 games. When was that? Like a couple months ago? It was during before the summer.
How many times have they done that during the Aaron Boone era? You're going to need to be more specific than that, Joe.
You're right, but there's a specific play that I remember where Goldschmidt was at first base and made a really bad throw. And I'm only bringing this up because you mentioned caught in the moment.
Yep.
There's so many things you need to know in that situation. Here's what you need to know: 3-2. 2 outs, running on anything, secondary lead, sprint home. That's what you need to know. The other thing is, if a play does happen to have an issue and it goes to first base, that first baseman now has to set his shoulders, make a solid throw, but you have to throw it on the third base side. Do you get what I mean? You can't,
yeah, totally.
You can't throw it on the other angle. So the angle of him chasing the ball, he's technically behind the bag. I know I'm getting real technical on this, but you have to make a throw, square your body, and throw it to the third base side. I think Eaton would have beat it. And I don't even know if Goldschmidt can make that throw.
So actually, Joe, I'm 99% certain, and this is only making your point even more. Goldschmidt came in the game defensively. That would have been after the 7th inning. So Goldschmidt is obviously a very experienced first baseman. I believe has multiple Gold Gloves. I'd have to go back and check that. But I mean, Goldschmidt is true veteran guy, knows how to play the bag, knows all the technical things that I know you know quite well because you did play first base. That's a young player over there in Ben Rice, who you're now about to put pressure on.
Oh, that's right. It was Rice. Why did I say? I don't know why I thought that.
Well, because Goldschmidt played last night, but it's only making your point even more. It's like, if you're going to test Goldschmidt, he's a veteran guy. He's probably going to pass that test, let me say this way. He's more likely to pass the test than Ben Rice, who's a young guy in that moment, and obviously is not as good a fielder as Goldschmidt because they took Rice out of the game defensively in favor of Goldschmidt. So you have to make the first baseman make the play. And that's exactly the Red Sox approach. They did it last night by going to second base with Sogard. The problem is that the issue in this scenario is very simple, Joe. Kyle Hudson sucks at his job. Plain and simple.
Damn. So it was Rice that it got behind. I don't know why I keep saying Goldschmidt, but he was replaced late. Still, I don't even know if he can make that throw.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
You test him in that spot. More likely than Rice, but you test either one of those guys, Joe.
And I believe he's a right-handed thrower, right? Yep. He's
Goldschmidt, yeah.
Ben Rice too, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a righty.
You got to know that situation. That's too big of a situation to not be. I know I'm getting really down the weeds on this play. The third base coach got to get the hell out of the way. He was too involved in that play. I'm sorry. And maybe that's where he's supposed to stand. I don't know. I'd be talking to everybody on this one. Hey, do you think he was? I'd be sniffing around this one all day, Matt. This would be
smelly, Joe.
I'd be like, hey, man, why should he be there? Because I don't know why. I feel like the third base coach should be from afar to kind of get a further view. You get what I mean? Why?
Yeah, totally.
Is that view good? Like, I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like that's a crap view for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the positioning. We can question it whether it's right or wrong on that, Joe. The fact of the matter is, the scenario does not call for stopping Eaton no matter what's happening at first base. Like, the fact that he throws up the stop sign before the play happens at first base is insane. It's asinine, and it's a guy who is obviously not qualified, as he's proven repeatedly down the stretch of the season. He is not qualified to coach third base.
Man, I know I got really technical there, but we all played baseball. Like, we know the rules.
Parkway Little League legend, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, all day long, how I keep watching the play. What the hell is he doing there, the third base coach? Why is he so close to the line right there? I don't know. Maybe times have changed in my life, but that's a. Hey, listen, we're just talking about one play. It's a huge error. It was a huge play.
Oh.
And listen, if he just makes the out, it's over, right? Is he stop? Why is he stop? I can't.
Right, the inning's over.
They're gonna stop. It's not making sense to me, so I'm gonna move on, Matt.
Well, Joe, there's only so far you want to go deep on this, because the only answer is that Kyle Hudson had his head so far up his ass. Like, Joe, are you a proctologist? Do you really want to go there? Like, let's stay away from that one. It's dark up there. That's why he couldn't see. Doesn't matter the positioning. It's dark. He can't see. Head in rectum.
Yeah. And the Yankees fans are checking in, or at least New York fans. Duran got a better jump because he wasn't being held on first. Yankees shortstop basically directly behind Eaton, so he couldn't get a bigger lead.
The lead doesn't matter here. The lead, it's irrelevant.
Lead. Plus, the guy's playing deep because it's 2 outs.
It's a 3-2 count. You're breaking for third.
I know.
For Christ's sake.
I know. I'm trying to make sense. That's the problem. That is the problem tonight. All right.
Don't ever try that ever again.
We got to go to break and get the headlines. We're very late, so we might have to say bye early, Matt. But let's go to headlines here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. That looking at that play, Matt, it's a Zapruder film. That's all I can think. That was the point you made about Duran, though, like literally thinking about third base, and he's like, why is that guy still there? It was real.
It's what I was thinking too, Joe. Why is that guy still there? It's what we all were thinking.
I can't remember. I feel like texting Troop. He's probably in bed. But I want to be like, hey, man, can you ever remember a player being stopped rounding third with 2 outs from second on everybody, isn't it like a rule like 3 and 2, everybody's on the move, right? Like, isn't that like just like a saying, like a thing? Like it's everybody's on the move.
Yeah, he scores easily, Joe, if he just keeps going, which again, now should Eaton have the wherewithal to probably keep going because he knows there's no play? Yeah, I mean, the chances are there's not going to be a play at the plate because if you just keep going, I mean, it's simply put, he's already rounding third by the time, the play doesn't get made at first base. That being said, he had a human reaction because he just stopped. He's like, well, why is my third base coach telling me to stop? Something horrible, something crazy must have happened. No, it's just that they didn't make a play at first base. That's all. Like, Yoshida was going to beat that thing out anyway.
Jesus. Man, this one hurts. This one's not good. One thing I do want to mention is, the Red Sox, whenever they score first and they play ahead, they're very good. But the last 2 nights, right? Yankees started first last night. They started first tonight. I think that's one of the keys for tomorrow, Matt. If they can somehow get out to the lead and early gives them something, right? And then you start mixing and matching and everyone's in the bullpen. Garrett Crochet is not available, right?
Probably not. It would be on 1 day rest. I would think he's not available. Never say never. Because that guy is the ultimate competitor. But I would lean towards no. I think Bayo's probably more available than Crochet, but I'm not going to rule it out with that guy. But you're totally right. Getting out to an early, an early start, an early lead tomorrow is important because then that allows Cora to manage even more aggressively, which he's going to have to do on a day where, listen, the kid spent about 5 minutes in the big leagues, and now your season comes down to him. We all like Connor Learley. We do, but that's a lot to ask of him in Yankee Stadium on the road to boot against that lineup. Like, all right, kid, face Aaron Judge twice. Okay, like, is that really what you want? So, yeah, they need an early lead tomorrow. It's critical that they play from ahead rather than behind.
Just a minute to go. The season comes down to this, and hey, I thought it's been a really good season overall. Like, I enjoyed the year, ups and downs, but competitive. But this moment and how you feel today, like, I know there's some people that were upset they made the playoffs because of not spending. But, dude, I hope this moment they remember about why you need more guys.
The season's a success, but that doesn't mean it won't sting like hell if they lose in this fashion. And we'll get it more into that tomorrow night. See you then.
Matt McCarthy will be in tonight after the Bruins game. I'll be in Friday morning with Fred. Thanks, Skaz. Thanks, intern Mark. I'm Joe Murray, and this hour has been brought to you by Valvoline Innocent Oil Change.